Hello, welcome to the Average FPLers. My name's Gareth, and I'm here with Russ and Mike.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello. This is the last episode of the season. Game week 38 is gone, been done. Season's over. So we're going to have a look at how we did in the last game week of the season. Basically, a review of how it's gone and what's gone well and what hasn't, and we're going to chuck FPL 4 in there as well. See how we did on that.
Big old bumper episode. Should we look at the topics?
Yes.
Game week 38, as Gaz said, that was finished yesterday. So we're recording this on Monday. So we'll review how we did. Obviously, we had some last minute transfers there. So some went well, some did not. So we'll see that. Wrap up FPL 4. We made our picks for FPL 4 and how they went. It was a pretty good week. So we'll see that. And then we'll get into a season review where we'll look at the season honours for our mini league and our other side leagues and stuff and competing against each other. And then we'll look at some statistics and talk about the season overall. So some stats, our teams of the year, and an analysis of our points and stuff. So, game week 38. When we did the preview to this, obviously with the last game, all the teams playing at the same time, we kind of weren't sure who's going to play and stuff like that, and we were kind of sitting on the fence very much and waiting for news. So I'm pretty sure we all did our transfers very last minute. I know mine was Sunday, about half an hour, 15 minutes before deadline. Did mine?
Yeah, I did work.
Yeah.
In the toilet.
Well, Gaz, we should come to you because in the preview you were like, "Oh, I don't care, I'm not doing anything," and then you realised you were in several cup games.
Yeah,
cup finals.
After we recorded, I was in the cup final, two cup finals. So I thought, I might do something. And yeah, it didn't work. Went out both. I got Red Arrow, by the way.
Yeah. I meant to go back and change that, but I forgot. I didn't even calculate how much you dropped, but
yeah, not great. Yeah, I got Red Arrow.
there's your Red Arrow there. I'll fix that. So
that's not nice.
Yeah.
I brought Kane in and didn't captain him. So,
well, I mean, bringing Kane in was a good move. A lot of people did that. But yeah,
I brought in Odegaard as well, and he didn't do anything. So, but yeah, I didn't captain. Didn't captain Kane. That's what done it for me. That's why I won cups, because the other two people I think did captain Kane. So yeah, just bad. Yeah. Just sums up. Yeah, bad end to the season. Bad season. Get in the bin.
Well, not captaining Kane. I think that was a similar upset for you, Mike.
Yeah. No, not really. It was the fact
that you had several, so yeah.
Kane was fine. I mean, all right, my captaincy choice was bad. I went for the home fixture rather than the away fixture because I had no confidence in Tottenham, which is what it is. But the biggest problem I had was I posted my screenshot of my team, which showed on my phone that Kiwior was starting. And then when I realised Kiwior wasn't starting, I'd accidentally started Tarkowski over him.
Mm-hmm.
So that cost me 5 points. Mm-hmm. And I was absolutely certain that I was starting Kiwior because I'd said to previously that I thought the biggest scoring game would probably be Arsenal versus Wolves.
Yeah.
All right, he shouldn't have probably scored because of how bad Sarr was with that save. But if I'd started him instead of Tarkowski, I would have been better off. I mean, if I had Captain Kane, I would have had a ton of points as well, obviously. But
Yeah.
it was never in my mindset, I don't think. I should have, because it's probably his last ever game for Tottenham. But
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised.
I mean, I did.
Yeah.
I mean, I went bold enough. I bought him and Son in. I mean, I should have just got Saka like I wanted. I had Saka in my team at one point, but I took him out because there was no Arsenal leaks about who was starting, and I was concerned that the flag would keep him out. So I went for Jesus, which was fine, but I should have gone for Saka as well and just, he hoed out Mahrez, but I kept hold of a Man City player because I thought, oh, everyone's buying Alvarez and Mahrez and Foden because they think that one's going to be a high-scoring game, and it really wasn't.
Yeah, because you were in the very nice position of having a free hit and using
Yes,
that.
I was.
Which
I mean, it did me significantly better than my actual team would have.
Oh, yeah.
So that's that. I mean, I didn't have Kane. I didn't have Son. I didn't have, anything of that nature. So I just I'd started Kiwior, I would have been closest to 70 points, and if I'd captain Kane, I would be well over the 90-point barrier. So slightly disappointing, but it's my own fault.
I know, and you lost our mini league cup final. It's very disappointing.
I lost to mini league cup finals. I lost the head-to-head finals. I lost another league final. But I won 3 others. I won 3 other league finals. One of them being the M&M Direct.
Yeah.
Yeah. They haven't said anything yet, so I guess I'm getting bugger all for winning.
That is disappointing.
I was pleased as well because some of the lads that I had to beat to get there was significantly better ranked than I was. And the guy I'd beaten game week 37, I only beat him because my team had scored more goals than his, because we'd scored exactly the same amount of points.
Mm-hmm.
So, but hey ho, that's
yeah.
That summarizes my season. 1 or 2 slight errors that shouldn't be significant, but turned out being extremely significant and unfortunate. So,
yeah,
never mind.
I
Done now.
I had a good week. I
really.
enjoyed the last game week.
Oh, good.
Yeah. I was going to be sensible, maybe only make 1 transfer, but then I kind of thought, it's the last game. We haven't got much to play for. Let's go for it. I looked at some transfers. At one point, I was bringing in Decore, Xhaka, and Kane for Isak, Anthony, and Foden. And I was going to play Akanji, but then we got news that Akanji wasn't playing, Foden was. So then I changed my mind to bring in Tarkowski, Decore, and Kane for Haaland, because Haaland was also on the bench.
Come on. Yeah, I took Haaland out.
Yeah.
Didn't play.
I thought I thought he would come on. That's the only other thing, but
yeah, it's 0-0.
But yeah,
I thought, they might do something here. No.
But I just, I mean, it was Tottenham Leeds. Leeds kind of looked dead and buried a little bit, and I just thought, Kane's bound to get a haul there, so brought him in. I mean, I was 50-50 on captaining him. I nearly captained Salah. I think I did put the armband on him, and then I had a second thought and nearly put it on Salah again, and then luckily I went, no, I'll captain Kane, and I did that. So yeah, one of those forks in the road where I could have gone wrong, which I usually do, but luckily I went the right way this time. So yeah, it was good. Yeah, Kane captain, Decore scored, which was nice, and Tarkowski kept a clean sheet. So pretty
he got
successful.
2 bonus. He did all right, Tarkowski, but
yeah, I mean for a -8, it was pretty good, and I think all the players I took out didn't get anything. So what, Haaland, Anthony, and Akanji, yeah, 0. So yeah, I'm well up on the points there. So yeah, no, it was good. Good finish for me. High game week rank. Yeah, and got me into inside top 700k. So yeah, not a bad finish. Not a great season like we've alluded to, but finished okay. So
It'll do.
it'll do. Yeah, and I beat you in the head to head. So that was good.
That's my own fault.
And I needed that,
I tried
otherwise
to
we
keep
would have
it.
drawn it again, and that would have been annoying. And I was pretty sure I was going to lose it with you on a free hit, so it was nice to
Yeah.
scrape it.
Some errors there, unfortunately.
Yeah,
That's what you get, right?
I'll take it.
Wish I'd started Kiwi. No need for Malacia in the end. No need. Should just started Malacia, benched Malacia for Kiwi. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Played Tarkowski because I knew they were probably going to get a 1-0. I didn't think they'd play to win per se, like all out attack like Leicester were. Not sure what Leeds were doing. I mean, Leeds were only 1-0 down at halftime. That was the thing. And then, as the commentator was saying about, they got to come out at this time and show that they've got it. They've probably had, reading off the same gumph that they normally read to make it sound like they know something that they're talking about. And then Leeds immediately conceded. And then that line of dialogue immediately stopped. It was like, yeah, it's 2-0 now. I don't think Leeds are going to do what you said, mate.
Well, and then they did get one back, and then literally, a minute later, they conceded the third. So
from the kickoff, they gave the ball away and we scored.
Yeah.
So it's about 40 seconds tops, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And it summarised how bad Leeds were. I think they ended up conceding more than 75 goals. I know that for a fact.
Yeah, the most in all of Europe for top sides.
I mean, bear in mind Tottenham were on 62 conceded this year, so it was unexpected that they won so easily.
Yeah.
And that first half was dreadful. Misplaced passes by both teams.
Oh yeah, well they weren't good. Yeah.
Poor tackles. I mean, the control of a 10-year-old. In fact, that's offensive to any kind of. Just the control of people who don't look like they've ever played football before. Yeah. They're just absolutely wangling it wherever they wanted and into no man's land. You're like, there's no one there. Yeah. It goes out for a throw. Sanchez trying to control it and put it out for a corner. And you're like, ugh. Fair enough. So, yeah. It was a good one to watch, but summarised the season of both teams by how appalling they both were.
Yeah, pretty much. But oh well. There we go.
Done now.
Yeah.
It's all done.
But yeah, so yeah, that's our teams. That's how we did. Game week 38. So FPL 4. Final game week of that. So yeah, I mean, Gaz, you got 20 points. Mike, you only got 18, and I managed to get 31. So that was good. Me and Mike picked Pickford. So, as we were already saying, Everton. I had a feeling that he would maybe pull off a save that keeps him up, and I think he pretty much did. There was a couple of saves he made that kept him in it. So
he did all right.
I think that was a good shout. But yeah, me and Gaz went for Xhaka. Gaz with your farewell team. Obviously, two of them did not play, but
no.
Yeah, Xhaka and Firmino had a good send off.
Yeah, it is what it is. Like there was no kind of leaks to say who's leaving or whatever. So I just had to put players in I knew definitely weren't going to play
Mm.
anymore, but they didn't come on, and one's injured. So that was. But
Yeah.
yeah, Jack did enough
Yeah.
to get not come last.
No.
For a change.
No. And even, I mean, yeah, 18 points is still a good score. So, I mean, Gakpo didn't start, but came on and scored.
Yeah, I thought I had Yerry Mina in this for some reason, but that's a shame.
No, yeah, no.
I still got 6. Mina only got, I think Mina got 8. So yeah, I
Yeah.
live with it.
You're just hoping for the Vardy party, but didn't happen.
Didn't play. Didn't come on till late into the second half.
Yeah.
They started Iheanacho.
Yeah.
Went 2 up early. So yeah, it's
Sad.
unfortunate.
No.
Got caught, and no big send off for me in that regard. So
No.
down they go. Enjoy relegation. Toots.
Yeah. Wow. What a few years for them. Crazy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Quarterfinals in 2 European competitions. Win the league. Win the FA Cup.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're
And then-
bounced out of the league.
Yeah.
I think they should have stuck with Rodgers. They probably would have scraped.
Yes, Trust maintains that, but
Yeah, I think so as well. I think he probably could have turned it around,
Don't know,
but well, yeah, you'll never know now. But
yeah, it was a bit of a strange one.
yeah, and then
Yeah,
I mean, they did get rid of him, but then they didn't really have a plan. Like they didn't bring anyone in quickly, did they? And then they eventually got what's his name?
Dean Smith.
I want to say Dean Smith. Yeah.
Potter, and they turned them down.
Yeah.
But yeah, all the teams that all changed their manager late all didn't work.
Didn't work.
Leicester, Chelsea. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, too
I mean,
late.
Chelsea didn't necessarily change their manager. They just hired a temporary manager who was shit.
Mm.
Yeah.
I mean, and the only good thing that came out of that is he definitely shouldn't be getting another job in the Premier League anytime soon.
No,
I can't.
that's free.
I can't see
That's
it.
free.
No, he's kind of really.
I'll be absolutely fucking amazed if Frank Lampard gets another managerial job in the Premier League. He
Yeah,
basically could
surely
have
he
relegated
can't.
2 teams in the same season. That's how bad he was.
Yeah.
So
It was appalling.
he was also the man that didn't play Abdoulaye Doucouré at Everton
Yeah.
for 18 games this season, and then Dyche come in, installed him back, and he scored 5 goals, got like 3 assists, and basically he's the one who kept Everton up.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, you should have played him. You should have played James Garner as well. Garner, who Lampard wanted, signed him, paid 25 million for him from Man United. Didn't play him. Dyche is playing him. Looked quality yesterday. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Weird.
Yeah, Lampard's not in my good books, obviously, because of the Mendy gate.
Mendigate. Yeah. Of course.
Go back to league. Go to League 2 somewhere and stay there.
Yeah. Not good. Not good. But yeah, so yeah, Ollie Watkins as well for me scored. Aston Villa winning means Tottenham's not in Europe as well.
No
No.
Europe.
Yeah.
Europa Conference beckons for Aston Villa.
Yeah, so they're in the Europa Conference, right? Okay, yeah. So there are 2 teams
Brighton
in
and
that, or is there another team? Is it Brighton?
No, Brighton and Liverpool in the Europa League. Aston Villa are in the Europa Conference, and the top 4 are in the Champions League.
Okay. Do you only get one team entered in the conference then?
Yes.
Okay.
Like this year was West Ham.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, fair enough.
Still European competition. If you win it, you get into the Europa League.
Yeah.
Although someone was trying to get that changed, so they got put into the Champions League, but I don't think that'll take shape.
Yeah. Nah.
It'd be mad if it did, but
You should go one step up, shouldn't you? That's how it should work. So yeah. But they've got Unai Emery as well, who's an expert at doing that, winning it, and then
the Europa League is, yes.
yeah. So
Not with Arsenal, he fucking didn't.
well, not with Arsenal. No, he messed that one up. But
Arsenal.
yeah, that was an awful game. That was. Yeah, I did not enjoy that one.
I had two family members crying their eyes out.
Yeah. I was on holiday watching that, and it was it wasn't fun. But oh well, that's in the past now, you know.
Sort in the past.
The future's bright now, hopefully. So yeah.
Brighton.
Yeah. But yeah, we should probably say the final results of FPL 4. So I was victorious, 825 points. Mike, you got 748. And yeah, Gaz, you broke 500, 505 points.
Yay.
Well, not bad considering for most of the season they were theme picks, and some of those included players that didn't play.
30 weeks of themes.
Yeah.
I think it was game week 8. Okay.
It was pretty early. It was pretty premature. So
yeah, we're not doing that. Next season I'd play properly and then probably end up doing themes again.
yeah, maybe just leave it a bit later this time.
Yeah.
Oh
well, never mind.
Yeah. But yeah, so moving on. I won't gloat too much, so might as well get into the season review.
He says through gritted teeth.
Yeah. So first up, our season honours. So our mini league. So yeah, congratulations to Corky United for winning, and Koenigwald for coming runner-up. Cup winner was Reach for the Kai, and then runner-up was our very own Living La Vida Sissoko, Michael. You let us down by losing. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I didn't captain Kane and I accidentally benched Kiwior.
Yeah.
If I'd played Kiwior, I would have beat you and I would have beat him because it was like literally 3 to 5 points in it.
Yep.
It was misadventures.
Oh yeah,
And
looking at our overall points as well. So I beat you by what is that? 9 points.
Yeah, it weren't a lot.
Yeah. So that Captain Kane played Kiwior, you would have
played Kiwior
come above me.
And persisted with Mahrez. I should have got rid of him after I got that good haul out of him a couple of weeks ago. Sent him packing because I already know he did this to me last season towards the end where I was like, oh yeah, I'll bring Mahrez in. Missed a penalty against West Ham. Cheers, Mahrez, mate.
Yep, typical Mahrez. Yeah.
So, never mind. I definitely need to start better next year. I'll have Haaland like everyone else.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, we all got off to a terrible start this year, like absolutely awful, and we didn't really pick up until well, it was contrasting, weren't it? So we can come to that.
Out.
Yeah, we can come to that looking at our results. So obviously in the overall rankings, I got about 698k. Mike, you were 762k, and Gaz, you were about 1.6 million ish. But yeah, you were first half of the season, you were doing okay. You were quite far above us. I think you had probably 100 points on us at one point.
He had more than that on me.
Yeah. But if we look at the Second Chance League, which they introduced this year, so that started just after the World Cup.
Mhm.
Mine and Mike's ranks are in the 260k region. But yeah, yours, Gaz, is in the 2 million region. So just kind of shows that it was a bad, a bad second half of the season.
Yeah, the World Cup disrupted my World Cup was a distraction and kind of took my mind off it. And then when we came back, I just made really bad decisions. So I think if we didn't have the World Cup, I would have done a lot better than I. The momentum I would have obviously kept
Yeah,
going. And
it was a weird one, weren't it? And then obviously we got the kind of extra wild card as well, didn't we? And
yeah, for me.
but I think I know I personally kind of weren't happy. I was glad the World Cup was there because I needed a break because it weren't going very well, and then kind of used the World Cup as like a springboard to go right. Got to try and do better. So
Opposite for me. I was doing okay. 1.5, I think. I was 1.5 million.
Sat on your laurels. Yeah.
And then it just it just didn't work out.
No. Yeah.
So yeah.
Go.
Game of halves, isn't it?
It was a game of two halves, indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah, in terms of our mini league, not great in there. What have we got? About 50 odd teams in there, I think.
Yeah, around about 54, something like that.
Yeah.
It's not a huge league compared to other people's, but
No, but
sizable.
we didn't get inside the top 10. I came 13th. Mike, you was 16th, and Gaz, you were 25th.
Yeah, mid-table.
So if it's 50, and yeah, mid-table. Yeah. In terms of cups, the overall cup, me and Mike did not qualify. And Gaz, you managed to get to round 4 in that. It wasn't too bad. Obviously, the mini league cup, we've already said about Mike being the runner-up. And he beat me in the semi-final. Yeah. And Gaz, you made round 1. Yeah.
That's about right, yeah.
Yeah. And I put the England Cup in there as well and the England rankings as well, but we all went out in round 3 in that one. So, yeah. So, not great, really. Not something we can be too proud of, I don't think, any of that.
No.
But
It was a bad season.
yeah. Yeah, I guess lastly, I can, gloat a little bit. So, our little side competitions that we have. So obviously we've said about the head-to-head between me and Mike. So obviously I won that. FPL4 we've just seen. We also predict where the teams are going to finish in the league. And I've managed to win that as well. So I can move on and have a look at that. So yeah, me and you guys, we both got Man City. For some reason, you went Liverpool, Mike.
I mean, it didn't seem that far-fetched when they won the Charity Shield.
No, true, it didn't.
And Man City looked really bad.
I mean, me and Gaz have got Liverpool second, so yeah.
And then all of us have got Chelsea in the top 4.
Oh yeah, our top 4s are quite laughable. I mean, Gaz is the only one that's got Arsenal in the top 4.
Yeah.
So
cool.
Yeah. So that's pretty good. The other end of the table as well, I've got Southampton in relegation, just not in the right place, and Gaz, you got Leeds.
Yeah, I thought they'd struggle this season.
Yeah. So we both got one team right in terms of being relegated, but just not quite in the right position, but close. Mike, you were
Yeah.
hoping for Everton to go down, but missed out by a position.
I just wanted Everton to go down anyway, to be honest. I mean,
Yeah, where did I put it?
Their-
I put them 14.
their management is bad. I knew Frank Lampard was there, so I didn't think they would survive with him as manager. They wouldn't have. And the way they do business at the moment is bad. So everything they make, their revenue, 95% of that revenue is used on player wages, which is ridiculous. Because when you look at that side, you go, who the fuck's earning that sort of stupid money? And then you find out like players like Yerry Mina. I think Yerry Mina's on like it's like 9 million a year, something stupid. So that's what, over 100,000 a week. And in Yerry Mina, you get 15 games this season out of him, including cups. It's not a lot. It's very poor management. You've got Mason Holgate there. I'm sure he's on a sizable amount of money, and he's every time he comes on, he's dreadful. You know, and it's just like that. For example, they spent 20 million on Neil Mopai towards the end of the window for this season, and they needed to score and they needed to win in this game, the last game of the season, and they didn't play him. They played Gray up there instead. I mean, if there's ever an indictment of how bad you see as a striker and how bad of a transfer that is, I mean, it's that, isn't it? Just appalling.
Yeah.
Yeah, the recruitment's not been great over a few years now.
Yeah, I'd say more than a few, probably about the last since Mashiri took over.
Yeah, strange.
Yeah, it's hard to think of a really, really good signing they've made.
Decore.
That's
it.
Yeah.
But he was off the boil this season because Lampard benched him.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
the recruitment's been dreadful.
It won't be. That's.
They cost 40 million. That is not a good signing.
Yeah, it's not great. I mean, he every so often he kind of does all right,
but he cost 40 million like 4 or 5 years ago. That's not a good return for your investment.
Oh no.
You know, Sigurdsson cost what 55 million. He was okay, but nothing special, and then he was gone due to obviously circumstances. Who else? They bought striker after striker for stupid amounts of money. Turkish strikers, different foreign strikers that you always would go, these are going to take off. They play about a handful of games, maybe 12, sold.
Did
or
they have,
loaned out.
was it Tosin?
Czech Tosin come in under the Allardyce reign.
Yeah.
And he was dreadful.
Well, he did start quite well.
Started okay, like 2 games, 3
towards
games.
the back end of one season, he scored a few goals, and it's like, it looks alright. And I think I put him in my team for like the next season, and it was rubbish.
Yeah. Michael Keane's not been great. He cost an excessive amount of money. Who else is there? Dele Alli.
Oh yeah,
nothing.
That's a bad one.
He's probably one of the worst because that was this season, right?
Yeah.
Nothing really.
Was it last season?
Oh, it might have been last January. Sorry.
Yeah.
But he didn't last more than a year there.
Yeah.
You know that. Bearing in mind, they just make bad transfers. They bought Van der Beek in, didn't they, on loan? And he got they got like 3 games out of him.
Yeah.
I mean, they bought Ruben Vinagre this season.
Didn't play him.
Never played. He played the first game, I think. Got 20 minutes of the first game, and then he played once more at some point. That's it. And he cost like £17 million. Who does that? That's just stupidity at its highest level. You can't account. They should be relegated, as far as I'm concerned. They're fucking awful. It's just such bad recruitment.
Yeah.
The only decent light that they had was they managed to somehow get Connor Cody on loan And for that loan, they agreed a fee of like 4 million, I think, to buy him, which they probably won't exercise now because Dyche hasn't been playing him. But fuck me, that's like the best thing they did this summer, really, next to Onana.
Mm.
Yeah. Tarkovsky, McNeil did okay, I guess, but that's only because Dyche.
But they were all frees. I mean, that's the thing. They're so broke. They had to be smarter with purchases. So I mean, McNeil wasn't. McNeil cost like 20 million, but that was a good deal because he was young. Blah blah blah. But I mean, Patterson, jury's still out on him. He cost quite a lot from Rangers, but he's always been injured.
Mm.
Godfrey, they can't seem to keep fit, and he'd be great at centre back.
He was
Mikalenko's injured.
Yeah.
You know, Everton, their recruitment's just so bad. And I mean, I'm sure that there's an athletic piece where people have done a deeper dive on it. Oh, I mean, Christ.
Hmm.
It's just endless waste of money. And now, you know, if they had gone down, they probably would have gone bankrupt as well.
Mm.
It's not a sustainable model. You can't use 95% of revenue on wages, especially if the wages are going to players that are not good, you know.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing. They should have gone down. As far as I'm concerned, they should have
Yeah.
kept Lampard and they should have fucking taken them down. And they probably would have got relegated twice because that's how much of trouble they're in. And the thing that amazes me is that the rumor is that Mashiri's going to sell to someone, and they're going to sack Dyche and bring in someone from Brazil as the new manager. And you're just like, what? Why would you do that? That's exactly the same thing that
Mm.
Mashiri did. He walked in, sacked the manager not too long after walking in, and look at where they are now.
Yeah.
He used to be always like top six, Everton. Under Moyes, they used to be even Champions League. So,
Mm.
yeah.
Sounds like Everton's the new Newcastle for you.
No, probably not because Dyche is there, but they were under Lampard.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, they're not great. They're more like Sunderland. You see, by the time we get to next, like within the next 2 months, obviously it'll probably be a bit less than that when we start up again for the new season, and you're looking at teams and you're looking at players they've bought and what they've got, and you'll be like, I don't think Everton have got enough. They'll probably only have Calvert-Lewin there, right? They would have sold Mopai for a loss, more than likely. They'll have Sims, who's a youth player coming through, but Calvert-Lewin gets injured again, and you go, oh, well, they're fucked, didn't they? They haven't got a striker. How are they gonna survive?
Yeah, I think at the moment I'll be putting them 17th.
Probably.
They always just manage to survive somehow. But
yeah, they're Sunderland. They're Sunderland. They're Sunderland were for what 6-7 years, just patching things together and hoping for the best.
I mean, we'll probably all have Luton bottom next year, won't we?
More than likely, and we'll get that wrong. They'll finish 6th or 7th, like Fulham did.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah. Looking at some of our choices this year, I mean, Bournemouth bottom for two of us, me and you, Mike. Fulham, 19th for both of us. But Fulham was massively wrong.
Well, I always remember how bad Fulham were.
Oh yeah,
they come up and then they concede like 80 goals, and then they go down again.
Yeah,
you go, oh, well, see you in 2 years, Fulham.
And they've done a great job. 10th.
Yeah. It's because they bought decent players.
Yeah.
We were speaking about it yesterday, and Paulinho was probably one of the signings of the season.
Yeah.
You could even argue that Pereira might be because of what he did for Fulham this year.
Yeah, and Willian
as well.
Leno, you said.
Leno was, I maintain that Leno behind Ben Mee is second best signing of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Fulham always had dodgy goalkeepers that were at fault, or they kept chopping and changing. The last time they were in the Premier League, I think they went through like 4 or 5 goalkeepers and they couldn't figure it out. Kind of like what ended up being with Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest went through like 3 or 4 this season.
Mm-hmm.
And they brought in a sturdy keeper, a keeper that should be a bigger club, quite frankly. And he was fantastic, and he cost like 3 million as well, allegedly. So that was a bargain, and he's one of the reasons that Fulham are.
He wasn't terrible at Arsenal, And
No.
I know when we brought Ramsdale in, obviously the Arsenal fans will be like, "What are you doing that for?" But obviously that's worked out really well. But yeah. But yeah, he wasn't terrible. He's a good
No,
keeper. So don't surprise me.
sometimes, you know, sometimes a player goes somewhere and it changes the whole outlook of a team. The other player that is in the mention of that, but not a lot of people will speak about, is Neto. Neto went to Bournemouth on a free. No one expected him to be anything worthwhile. He didn't even start between the sticks for Bournemouth. Bournemouth got a 9-0 hiding. Parker got let go. They brought in, obviously, Gary O'Neill temporarily. He brought in Neto as his starting keeper. And then the whole thing changed.
Yeah.
Made
Done a great
captain.
He did
as
make
well.
him captain. Neto signed a 3-year contract now as well. Fan favourite. And yeah, there's a lot to be said for certain keepers that were bought this season that possibly should be under the guise of signing the season. And the only reason I think Ben Mee is because he cost nothing as well. And he's made Brentford unbelievably good at the back. Because normally with Brentford, their outlook is, oh, well, we'll score more than them in attack. But with Ben Mee back there, they've managed to keep quite a lot of clean sheets. I mean, they had one of the best records against the top six.
We've all got Brentford fairly low. I mean, you two have got them 17th, and I had them 15th, but they actually finished 9th. So
yeah, they
we got that
right
very
until
wrong.
they could have got Europa Conference yesterday if
Yeah,
Aston Villa and us had lost.
yeah.
So
Oh, and their record against the Big Six or whatever it is was their top of that. So they basically
it was ridiculous.
took loads of points off all the
It
Big
was
Six.
absolutely ridiculous. They beat Tottenham, they beat Man City, they beat Man United 4-0. They drew with Newcastle. The only one they lost to was Arsenal.
Yeah.
I think then they lost to maybe Man City away.
No,
No, they
Man City
they beat
Man City did the double overseer.
Yeah, they did a double, didn't they? So yeah, I mean they were exceptional,
Mm.
and Ben Mee is a big part of that.
I think Raya as well. You got to give Raya. Raya's been really good as well.
He's been good, but in the context of a signing of this season, Ben Mee was a new signing.
Yeah.
So
Gaz wants to mention Raya because he's one of Gaz's top players. That probably segues us on.
segue.
Because, well, we're not quite getting there yet, but if we move on to look at statistics. So today I've been playing around on FPLoptimize.com and pulled loads of stats and screenshots from there to analyze our seasons. But first up, I've just got kind of overall statistics for us. So obviously, we've talked about our points and our ranks. I went through and counted all our bench points. So I didn't know how to colour code this. So I've colour coded red, green, and yellow, basically comparing our squads to see who did best. But I don't know whether you want less points on your bench or more. So, but I managed to
highest or
green's middle.
okay.
Yeah. So I got 326. Mike, you got 286 points on your bench, and Gaz, you got 249. I don't know whether you'll see that as good or bad, but
I mean, a lot of them were fucking Leno, so I'll take it, I guess.
yeah, I did work out that I figured. I guess the optimal bench is that all your bench players get 2 points. So that should be around about 304 points. So yeah, you're both below that, and I'm slightly above that. So, but
Yeah, that's fine then.
yeah,
In the context, yeah.
I guess it's just one of those. It's one of the bugging things. I guess it's one of the exciting things, but it's also very annoying when you get a massive points haul on your bench.
It's luck, variance, as a lot will call it. You know, it's you just have to hope for the best, and sometimes you get it right, sometimes you get it wrong. Like Danny Ward, I would imagine all four of us. There's only three of us. All three of us. At least two of us had Danny Ward on the bench when he kept 6 clean sheets in a row.
Yep, going through my game weeks. I had Ward on the bench a couple of times with like 9-pointers and I think an 11-pointer one week.
Yeah, he saved a penalty against Southampton, didn't he?
Yeah. With a goalkeeper, you kind of have to compare with the goal he got in. So I think some of those weren't as bad. I think when he got the 11-pointer, my keeper at the time got 5 or 6. So it's only like a 6 or so point loss. But yeah. It's
Still a
annoying.
loss.
But yeah, I think we've had a few bad ones. I think when I was looking through yours and counting yours up, I did note down a couple for yours. I think Gaz in game week 13 had a 25-pointer. And Mike in game week 16, you had a 23-pointer.
Damn right I did.
Yeah. And actually, weirdly, I didn't note down mine, but yeah. I'm sure I had a few bad ones.
I'm pretty sure you had a 30-pointer on your bench one week.
Yeah. Oh god, yeah. That does ring a bell.
It's all flooding back.
I can't remember what week it was, or who was playing, but yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that did happen. It was a pretty bad one. So yeah, fun and games.
It's joys of FPL.
Yeah. In terms of transfers, so I did the most transfers, 66 over the season. Gaz, you did 62, and Mike, you did 59. Me and you, Mike, minus 80 in hits that we lost points, and Gaz minus 108.
Yeah, says a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah. I remember a couple of years back, I think probably the first year we did this, I had the most hits. And I think I came last out of the three of us that year. And whether that had anything to do with it, but it just, yeah.
Well, no, not necessarily. I think I took the most hits last year, right? And I didn't come last.
Well, I mean, you were giving a stick last week about not doing transfers and being boring, but clearly you're the most boring. Only 59.
Well, there's a strong chance that some of those is because I didn't make those transfers during the window over the internationals for the World Cup, because although it was a wild card, the transfers you made then counted as transfers
did they?
against your list, whereas normal wild cards don't.
Yeah,
And
I don't think I tinkered too much in there. I just waited until very much the end and then chose my team.
Mm-hmm.
I weren't sitting there during the World Cup pulling players in and out. So
I think because we took the same hit amount, but you made 7 transfers more.
Yeah.
So either you did more transfers during the winter break than I did, or I just took more hits, period, because I was going transfer wild. But it is what it is. You have to make a decision, and if your season starts well, you're less likely to take hits. Sometimes you just have to take a hit though, because you don't have that player that's actually going wild. Like, for example, Haaland. I think you and Gaz both took hits within the first 3 weeks to get him.
I bought Haaland in game week 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I had Kane game week 1, and then I switched out Kane for Haaland.
Yeah. I didn't.
No,
so
you were.
I stubbornly held on all the way to game week 8, which by then was too late. He'd already had 2 hat tricks in a row. So yeah, and then I started taking hits here and there. That normally when I take hits, it's always with an idea and a view to anything between 2 to 4 game weeks. Normally 4 if it's less than 4 game weeks, it's because of doubles per se. A double and then their leading fixture is normally easier. So yeah, I mean, in that sense, I think a lot of my hits probably paid off in the long term. Especially, I mean, I was ranked 4.55 million in the world by the time we broke for the World Cup. I was miles behind everyone.
Yeah.
So
I think
can't
the amount
complain.
of hits we've taken, that's a reasonable amount. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, ideally, you shouldn't be taking hits unless absolutely necessary.
No.
But I'll live with it. I mean, I was 5 million in the world, and I got to 700k, and I took a -80 to get there. Fair enough. I mean,
but I'd say we're
the,
fairly controlled with our hits. So.
I mean, yeah, I didn't buy Mendy for a double that he didn't play in.
Yeah. Don't you get guys started on Frank Lampard again?
Yeah, don't. No, I took hits for double to attack doubles, and the players I brought in just didn't work. So I was taking hits and not really gaining anything. So that's why I've gone wrong. I was attacking the doubles. I was a bit too aggressive with the amount of double game week players, and it just didn't pay off. So that's where I've gone wrong this season.
Double vision.
Bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bad double game week choices.
Well, there's kind of that thing where if it's a double, a -4 doesn't count or something like that.
If you take a -4 in a double, it's only a 2-point hit.
Yeah.
Because you've got 2 fixtures.
But that assumes that the player plays twice and doesn't do.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's heavy lifting that the player plays twice, and obviously you're still hoping they get a return, be a clean sheet, goal, etc. So that's why normally when you take -4s, you take it for someone that's either in form or it's a better team. So taking -4s for Brighton doublers was good this season because they were the best attacking team statistically for most of the season once De Zerbi came in. So there was a reasonable assumption if you picked one of like 3 players in the early days, like Matoma, McAllister, or I can't remember the other attacker they had, but Gross, or even Welbeck, to be honest.
Oh, March. Solly March.
Oh, March. Sorry, Solly March. That's the one.
Yeah.
You were going to get a return.
Yeah.
Whereas Gaz obviously picked Southampton defenders. So,
I picked these are the ones that I went wrong. Leeds had a double. I picked 3 Leeds players. They didn't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Chelsea last week didn't do anything.
Yeah.
So just Southampton had a double, didn't do anything. So yeah, I just picked went all out for doubles of teams that weren't doing very well and didn't get anything from. So that's where I've gone wrong. Rather than just get 0 and move on, I'll take a -4 and then don't get it, and then I'm getting a negative. So that's where I've gone wrong this season. Just bad transfer dealings for teams that weren't doing very well, players that weren't doing very well.
Yeah, I guess even when a team's got a double, you kind of got to look at their form and how they're playing and who they are. Kind of assess, is it worth it, kind of thing.
Yeah, I went a bit mad with it and it didn't work.
So yeah, and you're very much for symmetry, trying to get like one of each team or something like that.
Yeah.
That sometimes is your downfall. But
yeah. I went a bit mad with this season.
Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, yeah, moving down, looking at our best and worst game weeks, just to give you some light, Gaz. You did the best. You got the best game week rank out of all of us over the season.
Yeah, that was my
Game week 34.
bench boost. No, not triple captain. I think that was that week.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
We all triple captained Haaland, I think, that week.
Game week 34. Was that triple captain? Yeah, it must have been. Yeah, yeah, that was triple captain for me as well. So yeah, but yeah,
Yeah, we all
obviously
did.
you had. I mean, game week 34 is my best ever game week rank as well, which was 71k. But yeah, you were way up there in 16k region. So I mean, Mike came close. 17k in game week 21. Do
Yeah, that's all right.
you remember what game week 21 was?
Game week 21,
Right.
I can check.
Anything special for you then?
I was playing well. Does that count?
I guess. Well, clearly, yeah.
Game week 21. I got 101 points from -8.
Hmm.
And I captained Haaland. I had Nketiah, which people probably didn't have.
Ah.
And I had Kepa in goal. Kepa kept a clean
Oh,
sheet.
was that when Kepa was actually Chelsea was starting to look half decent for a little bit?
It was a
And
0-0. So Chelsea drew 0-0 with Liverpool.
there was a
And
little
Kepa got,
period where they were keeping clean sheets and stuff.
they were
and-
keeping clean sheets, but they just weren't scoring.
yeah,
But Graham Potter was getting a tune out of them, which was enough.
yeah.
Kind of like in his Brighton days. Before they let him go. And in Nketiah, obviously, I was absolutely certain that Arsenal were going to beat Man United and used to were not. And Nketiah scored twice and he got 3 bonus
Ah,
points.
yeah. I'll
And
definitely let you have that one then.
yeah, I had Saka as well for that game. And Saka got a goal and he got 2 bonus. So
Cool.
I absolutely reaped the rewards there.
I was gonna check. I did have Nketiah in my team at one point, but what did I do with him in 21? Oh no, I'd got rid of him. Didn't have any Arsenal players for game week 21. Yeah.
No, because you thought you were going to lose.
Yeah. Played Rashford though, but he did score. Yeah.
Rashford did score. Yeah, I've got him as well. Rashford got me 7, but Saka got me 9 and Nketiah got me 13.
Yeah.
I mean, we probably all captained Haaland. So
I also played
bugger
De
all.
Gea and Wan-Bissaka. So yeah.
Yeah, they're unlucky. Whereas that week I played Kepa, who got 9, and I played Trippier and Botman, who've both got a clean sheet, and Trippier got bonus.
Mm-hmm.
That was the other 0-0 that game week. That was Crystal Palace versus Newcastle.
Yeah.
So yeah, the only 2 players that blanked in my team that week were Aurier and Gibbs White, and I'm pretty sure I took the -8 to bring those 2 in. They drew 1-1 with Bournemouth.
Mhm.
And I held on to Aurier for a while.
Mm. Mm.
For a long old while. I mean, I was all in when it came to Nottingham Forest, I'm afraid. But yeah, that was my ascent really. 21 was my best week in terms of overall win in the world rank. But there were several game weeks. Like for example, game week 29, I was 240k in the world. Game week 34, 176k. So I was scoring high ranks overall, which doesn't sound that high, but when you bear in mind there was like 11.5 million players, that's decent. And I was 5 million in the world before I started scoring that kind of decent return. So it was getting.
Yeah, I
even
mean,
17K on.
I didn't think we'd make it into the top million, so
I was fairly certain we were struggling. We weren't going to.
yeah.
I mean, that game week where I finished 17k in the world, that jumped me 500,000 places.
Oh yeah,
which was significant.
Yeah.
And then I kept getting red arrows after. Kept getting green arrows after that.
Mm-hmm.
So game week 20 leading into 21, I was 3.9 million in the world. by the time I got to my first red arrow, which was game week 27, I was at 2 million.
Oh,
So
we
I'd
checked.
already-
We checked yesterday, didn't we? And you only got 2 red arrows from game week 17.
So yeah, from the World Cup restart, game week 17, I had 21 green arrows and only two reds. 2 reds were in game week 19 and game week 27.
Yeah.
And
I think I only had
They-
about 4 or 5. I think.
my red arrows weren't significant either. I only lost
Yeah.
first game week. I lost 100,000 places. Second one, I lost less than 70k.
Hmm.
So it's just that the green arrows, because it was so competitive this year, weren't significant in terms of jumping up. I was just chipping away. If this went on for about another 7 weeks, I probably would have made it to the top 50k. But Jesus, it was hard work getting that many green arrows.
Mm-hmm.
I was a lot more savvy. And the only reason I was that good was because before we got to the end of the World Cup, Gaz said that he didn't need to listen to us because he was better than us and making better transfers. And it really fucked me off. And I was like, well, I'm going to beat him when I get back. I'm determined to beat him. And I did. So all I need is someone to act like a twat and say something that really winds me up. Doesn't matter who it is, just someone in our league who will say something to set me off. For some reason, I turn into almost a savant in finding players. Like who I was the only one of I think Eddie Nketiah was only 6% owned at that point versus Man United, and that was Lucky's biggest haul of this season. So that's what you get. Poke the bear, he gets angry, and I actually play better. Whereas if you leave me to myself, just with being nice to me, I don't know what to do with being nice. So I play shit. So.
Oh yeah, that's why I don't poke you anymore. I just quietly get on with
I don't
trying to
like
make sure I
kindness.
beat you. So yeah.
Yeah, I might just employ someone to do it. Just pay him some money every season to be in our league and call me shit, and just
yeah,
it really wind me up.
I don't remember ever doing that, by the way, but there we go.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he definitely said something along those lines.
Yeah, I was fucked off. I was proper fucked off by it. So I went. I was determined. I was stewing for a while, especially as that World Cup went on for a while.
No,
but nevertheless, 21 green arrows in a normal season, you go, what a good achievement. But because I only come 700k, doesn't look great. But I was at 5 million, so 4.2, so 4.2 million going into the World Cup. That's quite bad.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, most of the teams that were above me, I was in a mire being beat by dead teams, because it was only the top 2 million, 2.5 million that were active players. So I had 1.7 million teams that were dead that were beating me, and mostly because they had Haaland and Trippier. So, and I was persisting with before the World Cup hit, my team had Henderson in goal, Cancelo, who, like all Man City defenders this season, were absolute trash. I had Phil Foden in my team for some reason. Bowen, who really wasn't great this season by any measure. I had Martial before the World Cup started, because of course I did.
You love Martial. It's funny you mention Cancelo though, because he has popped up in our in a couple of our team of the years, which is surprising. So he must have done reasonable, or all the other defenders were useless. One of those.
It probably our choice of defenders at certain times is why he's probably popped up there. But
he's definitely in mine. He's in either yours or Gaz's. So
that makes sense.
Yeah, we'll see that. But,
might be a reflection of how bad we were picking defenders if he was in there, because he left in January.
Yeah. Oh well, picking defenders was not a strong point for me this year.
Oh.
Yeah, it did not go well. So, So those were our best game weeks. But worst game weeks. I mean, me and Gaz both had a 10 million game week rank week,
I mean, I wasn't
was,
far behind.
which was, well, no, you were only like 9.8 million.
Which again means we were beat by literally almost all the dead teams. If we had basically not played that week, we probably would have done better than what we were trying to do.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, yours, Gaz, was in game week 26, which I think we spoke about. So the week you got 24 points, was it?
Yeah, that was the game week that Liverpool beat Man U 7-0, and Salah got 40 points or whatever, and I didn't have.
Salah got 21.
Yeah, I didn't get any returns in that game week from any players.
It's okay. Don't feel too bad. I captained Saka that week and he got 2.
What was game week 26 for me? Just checking it.
Haaland got an assist and he got a yellow card as well, so he finished the game with 4 points. It was against Newcastle.
Oh, I captained Saka that week, yeah. But I had Salah, so yeah, Salah got.
Because it was Arsenal versus Bournemouth, and Arsenal were absolute trash against Bournemouth for like most of it.
Yeah.
And then you managed to score Reece Nelson, wasn't it, right at the end? Because that was in for goal of the season last night, right?
Oh yeah, was that week?
Yep, that's the week. Reece Nelson scored a last-minute goal against Bournemouth to keep Hughes top of the league, and that's when a lot of people going, I think Arsenal are actually going to do this, you know, with the way they're playing. Because I think you were 2 down. I mean, you can tell how bad of a game week it was. Salah got me 21 points. Alexander-Arnold got me 6. And then after that, it was Kepa again with a clean sheet, and Semedo.
I had Darwin. He actually got me some points that week. Got me 12 points. And I had Danny Ward in goal. He got me 11 that week. So
yeah, Ward's on my bench for that one, so that's not fun.
Yeah, I had De Gea on the bench and he got -1. So
he conceded 7, didn't he?
Worked out very well.
I mean, considering Man United conceded 6 to Man City and 7 to Liverpool, they had quite a good season.
Oh yeah,
and they lost to Brentford.
Yeah,
4-0.
Yeah, they had some proper shockers, didn't they? And
that's why when they were saying, what was it, Game Week 37 with regard to Newcastle about the goal difference, they weren't alluding to why Man United's goal difference was so bad. It wasn't because they weren't scoring a lot, because they were getting absolutely tanked.
Yeah.
So
yeah, but yeah, the fact it's typical Man U. They always manage to do that. Somehow, kind of look rubbish at points and then still get really good, or in this case, get into the top 4.
Yeah.
Normally, the one handing out the tankings in years gone by.
They'd be one of the trendsetters.
Yeah.
But the other way around, they're either really bad or okay. Anyway.
Yeah.
I know why I had a bad game week in mine's in 14, right?
15 yours. Mine's 14.
Game week 15. Yeah, so I scored 35 points. I played Dean Henderson in goal, got 0. Cancelo got a straight red card that got me a -2.
Yeah, I'm looking at mine. Well, you didn't captain him. I captained him that week.
Good. I captained Haaland.
Oh yeah.
I thought Botman would cover Trippier. That was through that period. Newcastle beat Southampton 4-1. Trippier had been substituted before the 70th minute, so Trippier got a clean sheet and 3 bonus. I didn't have him. Botman got 2. I wanted to die. Trippier also got an assist that week as well, so I think he got like 15 points.
Mm-hmm.
And Botman getting 2. Did not cover the spread. And my midfield was absolute tosh. And I was the only one, I think, of the 3 of us at that point that was persisting with Alexander-Arnold.
I mean, my defence was not much better that week. I had Cancelo, who I captained, so I got -4. And then I had Eric Dyer and Akanji. So
I
yeah,
had James Justin. That was the only bright spot. I had James Justin in my defense, and he got a bonus point, so he got 7.
yeah.
But I still finished 9.8 million in the world. So no matter what small glimmers and positives there, it weren't great.
Yeah,
James
so
Justin and Eze.
somehow I managed to do better than you with that. I mean my game week rank was terrible that week. 8.4 million I was, but I think my attack saved me. I had Zaha got 12, Darwin 7, Kane got 8.
Yeah,
But-
that's the week when Eze set up a goal. And then for the second goal, Eze passed it to Zaha, who passed it to Elise.
Yeah.
So I didn't get any extra from that, but I should have got. Zaha should have. I mean, he took it inside the box and he was clear to score, and he laid it to Elise, and I was like, "Oh, you bastard!" So that cost me an assist, and yeah, right before the World Cup again. That's how miserable my time was before the World Cup. I even had Chilwell in my team for some reason.
Oh
God
yeah,
knows why.
when was game week 16 was the last one before the World Cup, wasn't it? Or was it 17?
Yeah, game week 15. Yes, game week 16 was the absolute last, and game week 15 was November time.
Yeah.
So I had my worst game week several days before my birthday. That's probably why I was miserable for my birthday. I mean, I'd had Aronson in my team from Leeds because why not, right?
Yeah.
And Foden, I had that period where Foden was being played, or it kept being predicted to start, and then he didn't. He'd come off the bench and get 1, and I was like, it'd be better if he didn't even fucking come off the bench because at least I've got more points from my bench players. But there you go. There's Phil Foden for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then that's why I become jaded by Man City towards the end of the first half, because I was like, I'm not getting anything from them. Cancelo got me a -2. I don't think I owned a Man City defender again after that, especially in the second half of the season. And I didn't own Foden again. I don't think either.
That was probably one of the last times Cancelo played, wasn't it?
Yeah, because he would have been suspended for the following game.
Yeah.
So
And
off
then,
he went.
And then he would have disappeared.
Yeah, straight to Bayern. And
Oh,
Bayern
no,
are not exercising that.
Weirdly, he wasn't suspended for the next game.
He probably was out for the Carabao then, so it was a 1-match ban, so it probably been 2 yellows.
Yeah. I mean, he only got 1 point in 16, but
That's Man City defense all over.
yeah, and then 1 point in 17, and then he was gone.
Yep.
Awesome.
Tala.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, but yeah. I mean, my worst game week was 14, but I can't see anything. I think I just had a bad week. I mean, my only good player that week was Martinelli because Arsenal won 5-0 at Forest, but the rest of my team all 2 and 1 pointers. Oh, Cancelo got me a clean sheet and Pope, but apart from that, disappointing. And I captained Kane that week, and he got 1 point because
Go on, Harry.
Tottenham beat Bournemouth 3-2, but Kane didn't get anything and got booked. Awesome. Oh, and I had Botman on my bench with 6 points. So, yeah. Fun.
We were just a bad side this year.
But yeah. So, I think that covers our best and worst game weeks. And unless there's any other game weeks that spring to mind that were good or bad from anyone.
No,
I
don't really bother to look, to be honest. I don't want to go back and look at the press stuff.
I had 1 or 2 after this restart. I mean, game week 34 was good for me.
Yeah,
But then that was the same week as Yaz. I played the triple captain that week, but
yeah, I was gonna say chips. Like, how did they go? Like, I think all mine went fairly well. My triple captain 34 was good. Obviously, that was my best game week rank. My bench boost in 29 was good. Got 136 points.
yeah, I got 133.
Yeah. So I think, yeah, luckily chip usage was fairly good. I think my free
Yeah.
hit was average. That was in game week 32, where it was a bit of a blank, so I used it in a blank, but it got me a reasonable score, but nothing special. But
I mean, I managed to somehow. I had quite a lot of luck with Leicester defenders this year. I mean, I got 6 clean sheets out of James Justin, which was fantastic before he wasn't a season-ending injury, but he got injured and didn't play again. And then when we bench boosted in game week 29, I think you followed suit with me. I had Ricardo Pereira on my bench on that boost, and he scored against Crystal Palace after coming off the bench for a 1-1. And that's the most points he scored all season.
yeah,
We didn't have him. Well, we had him for a few more weeks, but
I think I
just as
bought him
bench
in
free.
after that, but purely because he was like really cheap.
Mm-hmm.
So when did you bring him in?
4.2. I bought Ricardo Pereira in. Oh dear, we're looking back here. So he's still there. Oh,
Oh, I bought him in on my
I bought
wild
him in.
card.
I bought him in game week 28, and I didn't sell him until.
Yeah. Oh no, I bought him in 28. Yeah.
Yeah,
What did I
he
bring
got
him
3
earlier?
points. He got an assist. Oh no, he didn't. He got a
Yeah.
bonus point against. He got a bonus point against Chelsea somehow.
Yeah,
for
20,
passing.
28 in my wild card, and he got 3 points. And then in 29, I benched him, and he got 8 points.
Yeah, I bench boosted him and he got 8. I bigged
Oh
on
no, I
Solanke
bench
that week.
boosted him. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's good.
He got
Yeah.
8. Solanke got 11. Steele got 10. Henry got 3. So I got 21, 24, 32 from my bench boost,
Nice.
which is the equivalent of what John Stones got a 2 years before when he got 2 goals in a double. But I'll take it.
Yeah. 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 Right.
We don't need to. It's fine. Let's move on.
Yep, I was gonna. So yep, starting to look at our players now in particular. And we'll get on to our team of the season in a moment. Yeah, obviously our best player by points was Haaland for all of us. I managed to get the most shield out of him somehow. I don't know how, but with 468 points.
You bought him in before us, right?
I think Gaz had him the same time, but I guess it's to do with captaincy. So yeah, I don't know. But yeah, our second best player by points, Salah for Gaz and Mike, and Kane for me. But yeah,
Because we held Salah forever like hopeful idiots.
Gaz, you did the best out of Salah with that, 274.
It's because I captained him. More.
Yeah.
That's why mine are different. So I captained Haaland less than you. That's why you got more points out of him, and I captained Salah more. That's why I got more points out of him.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, even our second best player is not that surprising. We've got the free premiums, the free key premiums, haven't we? So yeah,
It's because if you didn't have Haaland, you had one of the others, and you were playing them a lot. I mean, they didn't have Haaland for 7 weeks, so
yeah,
that's why Salah is there, because I had Salah through that period. I might have been captaining him, probably not. I was deviating my captaincy around quite a bit and ballsing it up. So yeah, it was a topsy turvy start for me. I mean, I had Saka at the beginning, and he was useless.
Yeah, big thing at the start of the season was whether everyone was going a premium kind of thing, which I did, I think. Or did I? I think I did at one point. I think I had Salah, Haaland, and Kane somehow. But I think I downgraded because obviously Salah and Liverpool were not that great this year. I mean, Salah has actually done alright overall, but it didn't seem like it was.
Well, I mean, the worst thing about the beginning of the season, if he didn't go Haaland like I didn't, was you thought that he would get goals. That was obvious. He got goals for Dortmund, loads of them, and you were just like, yeah, maybe it would be harder adapting. Maybe he'll be given time to sort of break into the league, because he only played 20 minutes of one pre-season friendly, and then he played in the Charity Shield, and he was terrible in that. And Man City as a whole were terrible.
Yep.
And so that gave you a false
Mhm.
sort of assertion to go, I could probably go without him, and I did. And then what really tipped the scales was, and it happened to me last season when Chelsea won 7-0, and I captained Havertz, and he got 3 points. He was the only player who didn't get anything. And Salah had scored 3 goals, wasn't it, and 2 assists against Man United or whoever.
Mm.
That was game week 9 of last season, and it's burned into my memory.
Mm.
And then this season, I captained Salah against Liverpool. Liverpool versus Bournemouth. They won 9-0 Liverpool, and Salah didn't get a single return. And Haaland, I think that game we got a hat trick.
Yeah.
So I got absolutely my bum hole pulled out from the inside, and it was just like Christ.
Mm-hmm.
So, and yeah, I was more hopeful and hopefully romantic when it comes to Salah. That's why I managed to have him for that 7-0 drubbing of Man United. That, and obviously, I'm not ever going a game again now where Salah plays Man United, because every time I used to slap me in the face of being an idiot and not owning him. So
yeah,
that'll be one of my, I guess, rules like you two.
Yeah, so you have got a rule. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think when Salah's playing Man United, I think the rule is to have him and quite possibly captain him at this point, because I think he got a lot of points against him in both games, right?
Yeah.
So
and your other one, and probably all of our rules now, is have Joe Linton when he plays Tottenham.
oh yeah, always Joe Linton when it's against Tottenham. Anytime he scores doubles.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess one of the more interesting ones is our best player by gains. For Gaz, that's still Salah. For you, Mike, it's Saka. My one, yeah, I'm surprised by my one, De Gea. Yeah, that surprised me. I think I brought him in on my second wild card. Obviously, looking ahead of the fixtures, man, you had some doubles, some good fixtures in there. So yeah, decided on De Gea, and yeah, I mean, yeah, he did pretty well for me. A lot of people went still, I think, and I considered that, but I think he managed to keep up with him. Probably didn't do that much better than still, but
for the last 2, yeah, I think he did better.
And obviously this week he did well.
He saved the penalty.
Yeah, saved the penalty, which, I mean, that as the difference between me winning and losing against you in the head-to-head, and potentially the overall ranking as well.
Well, Mitrovic deciding to miss his 4th penalty of the season is.
Oh yeah, I forgot that.
I told you 3. I thought it was only 3 because I could only remember 3, and then they were like, it's a record 4 misses, and you're like, Christ, and he's still on them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
crazy. Yeah.
But I'm sure he'll still be taking them next season.
Yeah. We'll also see in a moment the points breakdown, and it's interesting points you got for penalty saves and misses. So we'll get onto that.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Hopefully it'll finally dispel your belief that I have a horseshoe shoved up my ass for picking keepers that save penalties.
Yeah, annoyingly, I think I did better out of stuff like that. So yeah.
Yeah, you have to keep your little trap shut, your little gums going.
I guess I've borrowed the horseshoe. It's firmly up there.
Yeah. Treat it with care.
I will. But yeah, so I mean, moving on to Arsenal players, I guess. So like Saka was your best player, Mike, for gains, and then but your rank killers for Gaz and Mike, Martinelli. So not only Martinelli hurt both of you.
beginning of the season, right? He was on fire.
Yeah, probably.
And he was only like 5.5, 6 million. He was like a stupidly cheap price. He won't be next year now. Yeah.
He was the one Arsenal player I did have, so that's why he's not my killer. But Saka was a close second to Trippier for being my rank killer. So, and Trippier's only there because I kind of refused to get him towards the start, a bit like you with Heartland. I was like, oh, no. And I tried to cover him with Botman like you did. No, didn't work.
I mean, yeah, some might say me refusing to have Trippier and Haaland was kind of short-sighted. But
Yeah, I
I still
mean,
persisted
yeah,
with it 'cause I thought I knew about.
sometimes you just have to jump on the bandwagon, don't you? So
Yeah, I think I really need to sort myself out.
probably another one that did hurt me was Almiron as well, because I had him. He did nothing for 2 weeks, took him out, and that was when he started scoring, and I refused to go back to him.
Yeah, Gaz had him.
Whereas I should have gone, right, time to go back to Almiron, but yeah.
So what happens? You get too stubborn in yourself and you go, no.
Yeah.
When really you should be like, let's just do it. And then think of another move that's smarter for another subpar player that got on my team.
Yeah.
So cover that hot streak, especially in recent years, because those players do go on streaks. It's not for just 1 or 2 games anymore. It's like 4, 5, 6. I mean, Almiron's was like what, 7 games, 8 games?
Yeah, it was annoying.
I mean, Martinelli's was for nearly 10 games. Like my James Justin one was 7 games. And then towards the back end of the season, I can't think of anyone that was doing it non-stop, but there were quite a few players like 4 or 5 game weeks were great. I mean, De Gea was great. Shaw was great for like 5 out of 6.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, if you're seeing someone do well, just, stop thinking you know better and going, oh, well, I know it's going to, blah, blah, blah. Just bite the bullet.
I guess Rashford would have been one, but that's one I did jump on.
Yes.
Eventually, but I probably missed out on a few.
Probably missed out on like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Because you're going, it's Rashford. Yeah. You can't help yourself. You get stuck in your own biases, be it from seasons gone by or if they've been in relegation. I mean, mine for Newcastle was because I'm so used to them being down in relegation and being terrible.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, yeah, no, they won't keeping clean sheets. And then by the time it was like the 9th clean sheet in like 11, I was like, yeah, I've made a horrible mistake here.
Mm-hmm.
Especially as Trippier, even when they weren't keeping clean sheets, was getting substituted. So he kept clean sheets and he kept getting 3 bonus. And I was like, oh, just shoot me in the face.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, around rules and stuff, that's probably no surprise that Martinelli is your rank killer, Gaz, because I mean, we both have that kind of thing of not wanting to choose Arsenal players, but probably more so you.
Yeah, I only put Arsenal players in when they had a double,
and
then out again.
But you have said that might change now.
Yeah, well, I brought them in and they actually did quite well. So,
wow.
But then I put Odegaard in last game week of the season and he didn't do anything. So we'll see, I guess. We'll see someone go from there. But yeah, I'm not ruling it out.
I don't worry, I did that with Odegaard the other week as well. I think I brought Odegaard in and then he did nothing, but I think it was like Martinelli or something did something really good, and yeah, I should have brought Martinelli in, but
never mind.
Yeah, it was a tough one with Arsenal this year because all of them were kind of sharing the points around. So yeah, 1 week Odegaard would get loads of points, another week Martinelli would, another week Saka would. So it was difficult, especially if you were trying to jump around on which one. It was hard to tell. So
to run and stick with it, and eventually it'll pay off. But yeah. I think 1 week you swapped out Saka for Martinelli, or the other way around, and the opposite happened.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, I think I had Martinelli and he stopped getting points, so I swapped Saka, and then Saka got nothing. Martinelli got the points.
Something like that.
Yeah, or it might have been the
Something
other
like
way round, but
Yeah, I know. I definitely remember something like that happening. You just have to kind of stick with it. Like if you'd had Odegaard from the beginning, or like when Arsenal were doing well, and just stuck with him, you would have reaped the rewards because he was in one of the most points midfielder with the most points.
yeah.
It was like Salah, Rashford, Odegaard, and I think Martinelli might have been still up there towards the end. I don't know. It might have been Saka.
Yeah.
Midfield points wise.
Probably all of
They're
them, I
all-
imagine. Yeah, imagine they're all high up there.
I just picked Martinelli because he got injured, didn't he?
So Odegaard was the top one, then Saka, then Martinelli.
Yeah, Martinelli had an
With
injury. Right, so.
Salah top, Rashford in between Odegaard and Saka. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you kept one of those all season, you'd have done all right.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, all of those, more points than De Bruyne, more points than Fernandes.
Yeah. So
Oh bloody hell! Just looking at this, Xhaka's up there. He's what? 1, 2.
He got 7 goals, 8 assists, right?
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12th. 12th in the list of midfielders.
what?
Just above Son.
Son, how the hell is Son up there? His Son did nothing
Oh, nice.
all season.
Scored 10 goals.
Oh.
Yeah.
3 of them
10 goals. 3 of them against Leicester, but he scored 10 goals and he got like 6, 7 assists.
still not as good as he normally is.
No.
But nowhere near. But
Yeah.
he went on. No one bought him because he was so expensive, but he was getting goals or assists. He was ticking by. If he'd been like a 8.5, 9.5 million player, more people would have had him for those random days where he did get hauls, like against Crystal Palace, etc.
I'm sure that was an annoying one for a lot of people. It probably took him out. And yeah. It was definitely a frustrating one, considering how well he did last season.
I mean, he was great last season, but there was always going to be a point where he plateaued per se because
Just a natural thing, isn't it? Natural.
Yes and no. I mean, he plays 90 usually for Tottenham all the time, which is one thing. And he'd almost played in every. Well, I mean, we'd even use him in cup matches so we could rest Kane. So Son was playing like nearly more minutes. Then he always played like full 90 minutes every time he jetted off to play for Korea. So he was playing like on average about 60 games a season, and he's been doing that for 5, 8 years probably, knowing Son. I mean, Bruno Fernandes is in that ilk already. He played 69, 70 games this calendar year, which is stupid. That's too many for a professional footballer.
No, as well.
So,
got enough.
That's what I'm saying. He's got
Yeah.
another 1, 2 thingies. He's got 2 whatever. If he's doing qualifiers or if it's Nations League, whatever the fuck it is, 2 more of them. Then he'll get about 10 days off, and then Man United, like all of the Premier League clubs, even the ones that have just been relegated, they're all jetting off to different parts of the globe to do matches and friendlies against each other to promote the Premier League. Tottenham are going to Korea with Leicester. West Ham are going to USA with, I think, Brentford and Villa, something like that. Man United are probably going to Asia. So a man who's just played 70 games is going to get 10 days off tops, and then they're going to go, all right, can you do 70 games again, lad? So there'll be a point where Bruno Fernandes and Fernandes himself this year sort of fell away as compared to what he'd been previously.
Yeah.
And the same that's happening with Son. It's going to happen. You're basically running the legs out of them, and they might not ever get better,
I feel like there's one player I could think of that's maybe suffered massively from burnout is Sanchez.
Alexis Sanchez,
Alexis
yeah,
Sanchez.
same principle, jetting around all over the place. A player who used to score for fun, look fantastic,
Yeah.
but he was playing like 50, 60 games a season.
And I feel
and then-
like he kind of burnt out, and then he tailed off at Arsenal, and then we sold him, and then he just
Yeah.
couldn't get going at United. And
but he was still going away with Chile the whole time.
yeah, exactly. So
There's never any time where there was a reset or a chance to rest, and that's the point. And you'll get people go, oh well, the amount of money they earn and blah blah blah. That's great, but they're professional athletes. They still need a rest. I mean, no matter what, they need more than 10 days. They need a long time to rest, just like everyone else. So, but no. So I imagine you'll see a few more like that jet everywhere. Jared Bowen's probably prime candidate for that, for in terms of an English player, because he gets used for all of their UEFA Conference, all of their Premier League, all of their cup games. So he's playing about 50 odd, 60 odd a year.
yeah.
And it's a different kind of football from what it used to be, like 30, 40 years ago when players played 60. It wasn't as high intense. So, yeah, that's the reason Son's probably dropped off. The only thing we can hope for is there's not a lot of internationals. He gets a long rest, gets a chance to sort of, reset in terms of mindset from how bad the last season was. And he didn't seem to do very well under Conte. After Conte was gone, Son was a lot better. So maybe that's a mitigating factor. And maybe we'll move to a formation that better suits him, which hopefully, fingers crossed, is 4-2-3-1. I'm not against a 4-3-3 per se, but something with more fluidity and width. And for the love of Christ, it doesn't sit back and defend like old dinosaurs. So, yeah, that'd be the other thing for him.
Get a manager first.
We need a manager. We need a director of football who buys players. We need players. We need someone who can negotiate the contracts. We don't have any of that. It's a depressing time at Tottenham. And I'm sure by the time it gets to summertime, when Sky Sports do the league predictions, I'm sure they'll have Tottenham down around about 8th, like we finished this year. It's lucky as well, because this season's coming kits, one of Tottenham's away ones is beige. That's how bland and shit we're going to be. We're having a beige kit as well. Thanks, Nike. So, yeah, we'll see how it pans out, I guess. You never know.
Yeah. Yeah, right. So moving on, we're probably going to cover a lot of the same points now, because we're look at our team of the year by points. So we've all got a different goalkeeper. So Gaz, yeah, you mentioned obviously Raya doing well. So he's your top scoring goalkeeper.
That's really? Not a lot of points from a keeper.
About 57, yeah. That wasn't great.
What these three keepers are showing us is we changed keepers a lot.
Yeah. I had for ages when Lucas were keeping clean sheets, so that can't be right, surely.
So
if you were benching him.
Pope's on your bench, 37.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I don't really care.
Yeah, mine's De Gea, but that makes sense. Like we see that he was my kind of biggest gain player. So yeah, yours, Mike, is Kepa. I think you mentioned Kepa doing well for you when you brought him in. So
yeah, I once he took the number 1 jersey and Graham Potter was keeping clean sheets, I didn't want a Chelsea attacker. And Chelsea defenders, I tried to do that with Chilwell, and he got injured. And I tried to do Reece James, and he got injured. And I was like, oh, fuck this. I'll just go Kepa. And Kepa was keeping clean sheets. And most importantly, he was getting a lot of save points. So,
oh god, yeah.
Instead of him getting 7, he'd get 8 because he'd make like 6-7 saves in a game. So,
yeah,
it was handy to have.
Yeah.
I mean, and Steele wasn't that far off, considering I only had Steele for about 5-6 weeks. He got 47.
He's your sub one, 47.
I'll take that. My two keepers combined. What's that? 110. That's about 120 something. It's worse than yours, but it's about what 50% better than Gaz's. So it's the importance of picking the right keeper. If you get the right keeper, like if we'd gone Raya game week 1 and done no other goalkeeper, he was one of the top scoring keepers, and that would have probably outscored the total points we got from bouncing around.
Yeah.
That's the point. It's always about picking the right keeper.
Yeah, I do try and the plan was to stick with the same goalie, but I think there was problems.
It always is. I mean,
I think I started with I had Sanchez at one point near the start, and
and then he lost his position.
Yeah.
I think Gaz did too. But Raya got 166 points. So if we'd picked in game week 1, not faltered, not wavered, that's more than any of us got using two keepers. And we probably used more than two goalkeepers because a lot of us use Danny Ward.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the thing. If you get the right one, I mean, if we'd gone with Sarr of Wolves, Sarr from Wolves got 148 points, and he didn't play 2 matches. So we could have easily have had a relegation goalkeeper and outscored our keeper points. So there's room for improvement there, no matter what.
Yeah.
Defenders is looking really embarrassing because I've just seen some of the defenders we've got.
I mean, so we've all got Trippier and all got Trent. Gaz did the best with Trippier, which makes sense because you had him much earlier than me and Mike. Trent, Mike, you did the best out of Trent because again you had him
forever.
You had him earlier. I think I definitely had to jump on him. So, you got Luke Shaw, Mike.
He was quality.
But you've got Cancelo as well, and I've got Cancelo.
It's because we held him from game week 1 right up until he was sold.
Yeah, and I've got captain once next to mine, and that was when he got red carded and got -4.
Fantastic. So you would have actually had more points than me with him.
Yeah.
If you hadn't done, in fact, you would have had the same points as me if you hadn't captained him because you would have had 2 less.
Yeah.
So there you go. You literally owned him as long as I did.
Yeah.
And we couldn't own him longer because he was gone.
Yeah. And so Gazzy got an outside one with Estepinian.
Not a lot of points.
No. Well, we will see in a moment. One of the stats shows where we got our points in terms of like goals and assists and defending and stuff like that. And Gaz seems to be more attack minded, so Gaz does better in terms of goals and that.
Well, you can see this with the formations. Gaz has got more. Gaz has got a 3-4-3. I've got a 4-4-2, which is embarrassing, and you've got a 3-5-2.
Yeah, funny enough, I scored most of my points from assists, I think. So that formation kind of alludes to that a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, that's your optimal formation.
And the fact Gaz scored more from goals, it alludes to that.
I'm not surprised. Gaz's wild card second half of the season defenders were shocking. I mean, bearing in mind he didn't have Trippier for the second half of the season. Trippier's his top scoring defender.
Oh, Gaz has got Cancelo, but it's on the bench.
30 and Zinchenko 37, where he gritted teeth reluctantly bought him in for like 3-4 weeks.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, yours is Botman, Mike.
Of course it is.
I've got Estepinian on my bench and Gabriel. Yeah, actually, I had Gabriel for like a couple of weeks. I don't think I had him for long, but he actually got me a few clean sheets here and there. So yeah.
It's always good to have 3 high-scoring defenders and then 2 that are okay. Where in my case, I've had 4 decent scoring defenders and just 1 that was okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So midfielders. I think we've all got Salah, We've all got Rashford because we all jumped on the Rashford train.
Choo choo.
And then it differs a bit. So you and well, Gaz and Mike, you've both got Saka. But yeah, Mike, you've done a lot better out of Saka with 187.
God damn right I did.
Yeah.
Saka's my boy. Double what Gaz got, and we captained in the same amount of times.
Yeah. Although I imagine Gaz had him a lot less than you did.
I had him forever.
As Gaz said, he only brought him in on doubles. So.
Yeah. I think I captained him during the one where he got Crystal Palace. I think I captained him for that one.
Yeah.
I can't believe Jared Bowen's in there, and he was really
Bowen.
bad.
Yeah, I've got Bowen as well. So we've both got Bowen. Yeah. Yeah, I think I managed to. I didn't have him for long, but I think I managed to get him when he did get a couple of points hauls and that.
Well, you can see.
But I think I also had him the week he missed a bloody penalty. That was annoying.
Yes, I think I did too, and then he was off penalties.
Yeah.
But you can see that we didn't do great with all of our midfield choices. Gaz is in his starting lineup. It's Fernandez with 44.
Yeah.
Then Luis Diaz with 39.
Wow.
And Luis Diaz went missing after like game week 4 from injury.
Yeah.
And he only come back 4 weeks ago.
Yeah.
You know, mine's Eze, and I didn't even have Eze over like these last 6-7 weeks. I had Eze before Christmas and then just after, when he was getting like the odd assist
Mm-hmm.
and the odd goal, but he wasn't seen as such a huge popular go-to player.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. I mean, the only other one two from me is Matoma and Martinelli. So obviously we talked about Martinelli. I had him in that kind of purple patch that he had. Purple patch, is that right? Good patch.
Same for
Yeah.
Same for Matoma.
And
Me and Gaz were a lot later.
Yeah. Well, Matoma's
see
the
that.
one I brought in, I think, on my wild card. Or might have been before, actually.
It probably was before, because it's not even reached mine and Gaz's list.
Yeah, he was one of those where, like we were talking about, jump on the train.
Mm-hmm.
And I could see he was kind of like in a good run of form. So I jumped on it. And yeah, pretty much paid off. Yeah, I mean, in recent weeks, not so much, but yeah, it's pretty good. But yeah, so yeah, forwards. Obviously, we've talked about Haaland. We've all got Haaland, obviously. Me and Gaz, Kane. But yeah, I did quite well out of Kane, but I captained him 5 times, whereas Gaz only
I only owned him
twice.
once. I owned him once last game of the season.
Yeah. That's outrageous.
Yeah. Did alright out of Jesus though. And the only reason he's made this list is because I played him in the last game of the season.
Yeah. But Gaz, Tony, yeah. I do actually remember you did quite well out of strikers. I think you had Tony did quite well, and I'm pretty sure someone else, maybe Wilson. Or yeah.
Wilson for a while as well.
Sure, there was another one. It was a much better year for forwards this year compared to last season.
Last year was like we were barely scraping 50 points.
It was dire, weren't it?
Mitrovic is another one for Gaz this year.
Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't make it. He must have been close, I reckon.
That's because Gaz has done really well out of 3 strikers.
Yeah.
Considerably better than us.
Yeah, I bet Mitrovic was close. I bet it's only because
got 8 game suspension.
You can't squeeze a full forward in.
No.
Yeah.
And if he hadn't had that 8 game ban, Gaz might have kept him or played in the easier fixtures.
Yeah. Trying to see if I can see Mitrovic on Gaz's stats.
Get your binoculars out. Have a gander.
I think you can actually search for him, but oh, actually, he's not coming up, so maybe.
I didn't have him for long.
Yeah, maybe.
When he missed,
Maybe it wasn't
pen,
that good.
he missed a second pen, and I took him out, and I was like, "That's it. Not putting him anymore." And then he got a ban. So long. I think I took him out for Tony. So I just stuck.
I was searching in the wrong place anyway. It's a lot good, isn't it? Yeah.
Sort it out, Russ.
Yeah. Oh, 33, Mitrovic. Got you. So yeah, that's nowhere near Tony. Yeah. Well, we might see. Might be a different thing on the gain. So if we move on, so that was by points, team by gains. So me and Gaz have got the same keepers. Mike, you've got Henderson though. It's your keeper.
That's because I'm bold, and I go for stupid picks. I went for the relegation. Nottingham Forest were like 19th when I had Henderson, right? They were down there and they looked gone. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to keep going with Dean Henderson. And everyone else was like, we're not going to go for Dean Henderson. I was like, yeah, let's do it.
Well, you'd get him when he kept a couple of clean sheets, and which is clearly why he's in this.
Yes.
So.
But it also shows how bad I was with keepers, because second was Steele.
And
it's very close, and still I owned for considerably less amount of time.
Yeah.
I mean, yours is great for De Gea, but your Pope one is fairly weak.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I weren't having a good time with keepers up until I went De Gea. So yeah, I was having a bit of disaster. So yeah, De Gea was a good turn, but yeah, defenders. So we've got some of the same players. I think Gaz is going to be surprised by Gay.
He was awful.
Yeah.
Hard points out of him. I don't know how that's happened.
Okay. He's a differential, and he kept clean sheets, right?
Akanji and Aki, your other two as well.
That's how bad your defender choices were this year.
The
3 of them that are in your 5 that were your best gains are players that you didn't like.
Yeah, they did nothing.
They were better than Emerson, Ireland. Jesus, all those other ones, Senesi.
Yeah. Don't worry, Kanji got into my team as well, which upsets me because he really screwed me over. But what it doesn't count here is where he screwed you over by maybe only coming on, or when he plays not getting a clean sheet, but when he don't play Man City get a clean sheet. It doesn't account for that. But,
no, this is just obviously any games when he came on or when you played them. Overall games. So
I mean, it's still rubbish, 21.6. So
it's better than Gaz's. So it means you probably caught a couple more clean sheets.
Well, Gaz, I think, had him early on in the season and then wouldn't go near him, and I had him towards the end of the season. And I think I managed to catch 1 clean sheet, maybe. Yeah.
Oh, Man City.
Yeah, it wasn't great. I guess the one for you, Mike, because you kind of moaned about him a little bit, Botman.
Yeah.
He's in there ahead of Shaw as well.
He is, but just.
And Henry.
Rico Henry was great. I mean, the fact that Rico Henry's rank gain gave me more than Gaz got from 2 championship winning centre backs is fantastic. You know, Henry's rank game for me was better than Man City's defenders, and he kept more clean sheets. And if I'd kept him for the final game week of the season instead of free hitting, he would have come off my bench and got like 8 points, because he got 8 points in the final game as well. I mean, what a legend!
Yeah.
I told you, I think he's a great defender, and he should technically be in the England squad. because we were always desperate for a left back. Instead of playing fucking Trippier there, play Rico Henry there. He's great.
Mm.
He really is good. I mean, and Botman, I owned him forever. I tried to cover Trippier. I didn't do it, but he was on the field when I'd get a clean sheet with him as well as Trippier. So the fact is, it's just I didn't have Trippier as long as Botman. And Trippier was so highly owned. That's why he's not made any of our teams, because he didn't give us any significant rank gain after a certain point.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Once they're heavily owned to such an extent, you're just not going to get that gain out of them unless you constantly hold on to them or captain them or use them with a triple captain chip, etc.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, though, Gaz doesn't have Alexander Arnold, but he had him for quite a long time, so that's probably when he was more heavily owned and not giving Gaz any significant gains.
Yeah.
Because you've got a double Liverpool defence.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I was just looking at
you're
that. Yeah, that's crazy. Can't believe that.
And they didn't really keep any clean sheets when you were owning Robinson.
No. Don't think he got many assists either. No,
He did not.
But it's crazy that he's a differential, because
yeah,
start of the year you have to have one of them at least, maybe two.
Normally, I mean, you might have to next year. You never know.
Yeah.
Not as good as differential as James Justin, though. So fuck both of you.
Yeah.
Yeehaw.
I mean, yeah.
It's one of those things. I know a player's going to be good. Same with Rico Henry. Same with James Justin.
They couldn't keep a clean sheet for the life of them, and then you bring Justin in, and somehow they keep like 3 or 4 clean sheets
7.
in a row.
It was more than 4. It was at least 6 or 7, because they genuinely looked like they were fine. And then the World Cup happened, and then they weren't fine. And Justin wasn't in that team anymore because he was injured.
Yeah.
And everyone kept just going, oh, well, it must be the break that's done Leicester bad. And it was like, no, James Justin's not there. And they're playing God knows whoever trying to fit him in at left back, and it just wasn't working. Thomas wasn't very good there.
Mm-hmm.
They moved Castagna there. He wasn't very good. Pretty sure they tried some other players there. They weren't very good. Ricardo Pereira come in, and he, just couldn't do it. James Justin is he was the pivotal man in that defense, it turns out.
Yeah.
Losing Johnny Evans was fine, but losing James Justin couldn't cope, and now they're relegated. So I think Justin will end up in the Premier League still. I just don't know who's going to take a gamble on him, because his injury record's a bit iffy. But is that to do with the player himself? Is it what Leicester were doing to him, rushing him back, etc.? So
maybe someone probably take.
He's only young. I think he's 22, 23, so he's still only a kid.
Yeah,
fantastic player.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Because I guess I'm a defender by trade. I just know a good defender, and other people just go, they're not though. And you go, wait and see.
Mm-hmm.
So it's fine. If he ends up in the Premier League next season, I will have him at some point for clean sheets. And if he keeps those clean sheets and he's really good, I will then buy a shirt with his name and number on the back, regardless who he plays for.
Arsenal.
If he plays for Arsenal and he goes and gets his 7 clean sheets, I'll do it. I won't wear it, but I'll buy it and I'll have it, and then I'll sell it in 10 years' time when people go, James Justin, and I'll be like, yeah, gather around, my friend. Let me tell you the story of the time that he kept 7 clean sheets for an Arsenal team. It's a great story piece.
Yeah.
Our midfielders are a little more.
Yeah, midfielders. Yeah, I mean, got the standard one. Salah is across there, which in a way surprising for gains if it's based on differentials, but just shows
he wasn't highly owned.
People weren't owning him in the end. So
no, even towards the end of the season, he was only owned by 30% of the league.
Yeah.
That's not a lot. So,
Maddison for Gaz. That's not a surprise. He's one of your favourites, but not that Leicester did that well this season. But
he'll be in the Premier League again, surely.
Oh yeah, bound to be. Yeah. Andreas for me is a funny one because obviously super cheap and did me alright. it's good. Good pick, really.
He won't be next year. He won't be a 4.5
Oh,
little
God, no.
superstar next year. That's for sure. It'll be like 6 million, and no one will go near him.
He was a bit of a headache because he was cheap, so I benched him, but he kept getting points. Yeah. And then I'd think, oh yeah, better play him, and then that'd be the week he'd get like 2 points. And yeah, bit annoying, but yeah, pretty good. Yeah, Matoma for me. Yeah, Eze and Bowen for you, Mike. Odegaard.
Yeah, I like Odegaard. He's fun.
Yeah,
He won't be next year because he'd be 8 million, and no one's going to pick an 8 million player that plays in the position he plays, and the fact he'll be playing
or
pretty
will
much
he?
every game,
Or will
right?
it be even more with how many points he got this year?
No, 8 seems about right. If he was an attacking midfielder where Saka is or Martinelli, they'd probably make him 8.5, 9. But because he plays in the centre midfield,
Yeah.
8 million seems fair. It's a price where you go, oh, it's a bit expensive, but you might gamble if Arsenal are playing a really, say for example, Luton are as bad as most think they're going to be.
Yeah.
Odegaard at home to Luton, and he's 8 million. You're probably picking him. So as a gamble. Odegaard at home to Luton, and he's 9.5, and you're going, nah, you're all right. So, but yeah, he was good for me. I had him when everyone else was going Martinelli and Saka. I went Odegaard and Saka, and I did all right out of it.
Yeah.
So-
Forwards is interesting. Just looking now, Gaz doesn't have Haaland, which kind of goes to show how well you did picking
Other strike.
other strikers. You got Tony and Wilson in there, and Kane. But yeah,
Yeah, I don't really understand this, to be honest. I don't really get. I don't really understand this.
well, we'll explain it to you at some point. Yeah. So yeah, Solanke for you, Mike. Pretty good. I'm sure you're happy about that.
Yeah, he was good differential. I didn't have him in the earlier season when he was a good differential then. I mean, he only scored 3 goals until about game week 24. I mean, he didn't get a lot of goals, but I think he finished on like 6 goals, but he had like 11, 12 assists, which is why he was really good.
Yeah.
Plus, it had that added value of one, he was cheap, so you didn't feel guilty about benching him. Even though that did kick me in the bollocks when he got 15 points against Tottenham. And 2, he was a 5.5 million striker that you knew played 90 every week, and he was on penalties. Not that Bournemouth had a penalty when he was on the field. So,
and you missed his 15-point haul.
That's what I just said. Yeah.
Yeah.
Missed that one. Caught all the others. Can't catch them all, right?
Yeah.
Unless you're playing Pokemon.
Yeah.
Then that's a prerequisite.
Yeah. I'm surprised Darwin's in mine a little bit, but I did, even though it was frustrating, I did manage to catch a couple of these points hauls.
Again, it's like Wilson for Gaz is low owned, scores a high amount of points. It's the point. That's the same thing with Solanke. He's not high owned like Haaland was or Jesus. Jesus was owned by like 85% of the league at the start, 80, 85. It was ridiculous because he was only 8 million. But all those points are not differentials. You're not catching a higher rank gain from those players because they're basically just helping you maintain rank. That's why this section is completely different from the other section for points. Haaland scored us the most points, but he didn't gain us the most rank.
Yeah.
Whereas, Solanke, he only probably got me 60, 70 points, but he gave me a bollock load of rank.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I don't know. It's it's kind of interesting. It's a different way of looking at it, so
it gives you an idea of what differentials can do.
Yeah, that's true.
Because obviously if you have if you have the template picks, the Trippiers, the Haalands, whatever the top scoring goalkeeper is that year, etc. If you have them in your team, you've got a base, and then if you manage to pick the right differentials when they haul, that is, then that's how you end up being in the top echelons, if you will, of the top 10k, top 50k, even winning the thing, you know. So it's always handy to take a look and see, okay, those ones were quite smart. Why did I do those ones? When did I do them? Blah blah blah. And then you get a better picture of yourself. Did you pick those players because they had an easy fixture and they were playing a relegation candidate, or did you pick them on a whim? Did you pick them because you checked the stats? Did you pick them because you heard they were in form? And that helps you make better decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Or it should. I mean, admittedly, all three of us were worse this year.
Yeah.
So,
We were not near the top.
no.
It was, yeah. And we started the season with so much promise as well, considering how well we did last year.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
You know,
Well,
we thought we were going places. We're going to make it, guys. We're going to be champions. Oh, shit.
Maybe next year.
Maybe next year.
Yeah. Right. Let's move on. So the next thing I've got is points returned by event time. So I've done these for all of us, but there's a lot to look at there and unpack, and it's by game week. So what I've done, if I go through, there's yours, Mike's, there's Gaz. But I've taken all our totals and put it into this table. So this shows us where we got our points in terms of the breakdown of points. So in terms of minutes played, Gaz got 976, Mike, you got 983, and I got 994 just from the points players get from the minutes they play.
Those 2-point kings.
Yeah. Oh yeah, so what did I put here? Oh yeah, so looking at this, so for myself, I did quite well out of like I said earlier, assists, clean sheets was quite good for me. Got 311 points from clean sheets. Yeah, and penalties, saved and missed penalties. So I got 10 points from penalty saves. Which obviously some of that was De Gea on the last game week. And missed penalties, I only lost 6 points from missed penalties. And Mike, you lost 10.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So I had Mitrovic missed penalties, Salah twice in a row. Yeah, or not in a row, but he missed one at Bournemouth, and then he missed the one after Man United game, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Where he fucking put it into row Z practically, and the next one he basically put wide. And then I had a Bowen missed penalty as well.
Yeah.
I think that's all 5 misses because it's -2 for every miss, right?
Oh, probably, yeah. Yeah, so that's a total of 5, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I just couldn't catch a break. Frankly, I didn't have all Mitrovic's ones because all 4 of them, including Salah's 2 and fucking God knows how many others, and I would be wanting to smash my face against a wall.
I'm guessing Gaz's one's potentially a Mitrovic one or two. Probably one of the Salah ones as well, or maybe 2 of them.
2 Mitrovic, 1 Salah, 1 Haaland.
Oh, the Haaland one as well. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Haaland miss one? When did Haaland miss one? Weren't that Champions League?
You missed one in the Champions League, yeah.
Yeah, don't know. Yeah, maybe.
Got Salah, both Salah ones.
Yeah, I had both Salah ones.
Yeah.
They were very close together.
Yeah.
Saka missed one.
Yeah, Saka missed one as well. Yeah, that's true.
I don't think that.
Oh, I had that one as well. That's why I got so many misses.
if we were giving out a what's the word? Oh God, I can't think of the word now. Like good sportsman.
Yeah.
Lack of yellow cards, then I'd win that. I only lost 55 points from yellow
Fair
cards.
play.
Fair play. That's the word I was looking for. Yeah. Yeah. So I did all right at that. Although I did bad with red cards, -6, but that I think -4 of that's from Cancelo. So
Yeah, quite possibly. Yeah, because you captained him, right?
yeah. Yeah.
Wolves had the most sending offs this year, 6.
Oh yeah.
That's like 1 every 5 games, isn't it? It's close to that. Yeah. Say 1 every 6.
Well,
1 every 6
they
games.
were the dirtiest team, weren't they? Yeah.
Yeah, they got what was it, 83, 84 yellow cards and 6 reds.
Yeah. Yeah.
2 of them in the same game.
Yeah.
2 of the Reds were in the
Oh
game.
yeah.
Yeah, Nunes got sent off from the bench, didn't he? If I remember.
Lamina and Neves
Oh
Yeah.
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 after the other, I think. Something like that.
Yeah. Well, you were our Wolves, Gaz, with -69 for yellow cards and -6 for reds.
Yeah.
Trying to think of
I
there's definitely a player you moan about who always gets a yellow card. I know.
Tony, lot of
Tony
yellow cards. Ford got yellow cards.
Oh, you had Bamford.
Yeah. I can't remember who got sent off. Mitrovic, probably. Cancelo. Don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, I think as we said earlier, goals was your thing, Gaz. So yeah, you did the best out of goal scoring.
Yeah, because I had
708 points. Yeah. Yeah.
formation I play, so I'm bound to have more goals.
You've done well with your
Than assists.
goalkeeper as well. So saves, you got the most point out of saves, 29.
Probably Raya,
Yeah.
as I say.
And not so many own goals for you as well. Not much difference in that though. You and Mike are the same, and I must have got 2 own goals in the season because I got -4 for that.
Gabriel got 1.
Yeah.
Luke Shaw got 1.
Can't remember. I feel like one. Oh, Trippier got 1. January 38.
That was final day of the season, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't have him for that, thankfully.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, I had him for that. Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, I think I got mine from Luke Shaw and someone else.
Yeah. How annoying.
Ooh.
How annoying. But yeah, for you, Mike, I've put down that yours is quite consistent because you're quite middle ground. Not a lot of reds there.
Oh, reds.
Quite a lot of green, so you're middle ground with us. Just typical, but not surprised that you won bonus points because you're a bit jammy like that.
I don't know if you couldn't call it jammy. I still finished worse than you in terms of totals. It's just picking the right ones, right? So if you pick a keeper that keeps making saves, like so Kefa probably got a fair amount of my save points, to be honest. I can't remember who else I had in goal. Danny Wall definitely didn't give me any save points. Fuck me. Steele got a few, but I imagine most of those 26 points are from Kepa because he was busy when he was under Potter, and then when he was gone, Potter, Kepa decided to not bother saving shots anymore. Really.
Yeah. I was talking about
Sorry.
your bonus points though.
Oh yeah, you were. Sorry, I've just looked at thingy. That's why saves points. Yeah, my bonus points is from everyone, right? So if you pick a good player, the way I tend to get bonus is from passes. So you don't actually see passes as a metric in the game. But if you pick a player that you know is focal to making a lot of passes in a team, then they tend to get bonus points quite rapidly. They tick up. So Luke Shaw's awesome for it. He hits a certain amount of passes for Man United, and he'll get 2 bonus, 3 bonus. Trippier would get a lot of bonus for use lot because he was taking a shitload of corners.
Mm.
And then I
Trippier
would
got
get
a hell of a lot of bonus at the start of the year.
yes, he did, and that was from corners and going off and still keeping his clean sheet when everyone else sort of hemorrhaged them. I didn't have any of those either, so my bonus probably come from clean sheets and goalkeepers more than likely. And then I'd get lucky with midfielders normally. My mid-card midfielders like Eze would get like a 1 bonus for a game because he'd get an assist.
Mm-hmm.
But someone like Zaha and Elise would do better. So
Yeah.
you pick them up. You just gotta. There's no real necessary skill to it, but if you have certain players that pass and can get other returns as well, so Trippier, Shaw, Gundogan's great for it, but he's very streaky in terms of you picking him as well for getting other returns.
He's a Man City player, so yeah.
Yes, there is that too. But he did play almost all the games for Man City. He just wasn't constantly in the goals kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, you'll get bonus points from that, and that's also a metric that's more prominent in other fantasy games. So like Sky. So in that game, you get a shitload of points for players that pass. So in that game, I would have like Van Dijk, and that's how I learned.
We were talking about this the other day, weren't we? Saying about are they going to change the point system? So this gives us a better idea of how the point systems work a little bit, but it'd be more categories in there. So there might be one for passes.
It would be nice if there
one
was
for tackles, maybe something like that.
Passes, interceptions, something that makes defensive midfielders a useful pick in the game because they're all listed, but they offer nothing. Or just box to box midfielders, they're fantastic potential price and options, but no one picks them because they don't get any fucking points unless they get an assist or a goal, which are more like Xhaka before this season. No one would pick him because he wasn't getting anything. He'd do all the legwork and the tackles, but get nothing from it. So, and that's the thing with the bonus points. If you pick it right in terms of players that offer passes, players that take corners, that's another thing. And with strikers, if you get a striker that's got a better strike rate and they don't have to take as many shots or they don't miss as many sitters, that gets you bonus as well. If someone misses a dead gilt edge chance, then they fall out of the bonus. So most of it's luck, but as long as you pick one or two good ones as well, you'll get lucky. I mean, like I said, Kappa probably got most of my bonus. Sure, James Justin got a fair amount, and then probably when we used our chips on Haaland, that was quite good. And Salah didn't get a lot of bonus this year, but when he did, it was because he scored like a bloody hat trick or whatnot. So
yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I don't seem to excel at anything, but I don't seem to be bad at anything per se.
No, that's what I mean. Yeah, consistent.
Boring is what you want. What you're trying to say.
No, saying consistent.
Boringly bland. I'm the beige.
It's like your FPL4 picks as well. You always get double figures. Most of the time.
Nothing spectacular.
Yeah.
Even in that final game week, nothing was spectacular. They all got like 5s and 6s.
Yeah. But this is only compared between the 3 of us as well. So, yeah.
I can live with it.
Yeah. But yeah, cool. Right. Well, one last thing to look at, and actually this kind of carries on from there. So we kind of see the similar things, but this is comparing us 3 again. But we see bonus points, which you won that, Mike.
Barely.
Assists was me that seemed to do better out of that. Don't know if that counted. Gaz, we see goals way ahead on that one. Clean sheets for you, Mike. And then captaincy was one thing it didn't really show there, but it looks like my captaincy choices were slightly better this year.
It's probably because you kept Haaland and me and Gaz kept going for fucking Tony or Saka.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, maybe it's a bit of a. I just played it a bit safe and kept on Haaland. So it was hard not to, really. Very difficult
I
not to
mean,
captain
you got
Haaland this year.
36 goals, right? So
Yeah, exactly. But it was nice when we had the opportunities to not captain Haaland. So
like
kind of-
3 times, and I didn't get any of those right either.
yeah. It wasn't that often, but
No.
well, I don't think I
You
got
never
many
know.
of them right. I got this week right, but I mean, clearly I
Because-
didn't get the week right when I captained Cancelo because that was bad.
No,
I'm guessing
No.
Haaland was out for that one.
no, he got an
Yes.
assist, and he got a yellow card.
Oh yeah, why the hell did I captain Cancelo?
It's probably because in the presser they said he was injured,
Oh yeah,
but
probably.
you
Yeah.
kept him, and he was flagged, and then he played, and you were like, "Oh bollocks, I've captained Cancelo,"
Yeah,
and then Cancelo got sent off, and you went, "Oh bollocks."
yeah,
Hopefully, Haaland doesn't score 3 now, like he did the week before and the week before that.
yeah. Luckily, he only got an assist, so it weren't so bad. But
No,
yeah,
and the booking cost him his bonus that week.
could have been a lot worse. But yeah, yeah. So I mean, yeah, that is everything now. There was one stat on the website that I was trying to look at, and it actually tried to work out luck. But I
Yeah,
couldn't-
luck and variance.
I couldn't quite understand what was going on, so I didn't bother including it. I
Oh,
really
that's a
wanted to
shame.
as well, because I wanted
Because
to
you wanted to
prove.
see if I was luckier than you, right?
Yeah, I did. No, I think that's why I didn't show it, because I think it showed me as being more lucky.
Yeah, of course it would have, because you did better than us.
Yeah, and I was like, well, that's not fair.
That's not fair. Yeah, my
That's a load of
my
rubbish, that is.
characterization of someone for many decades turns out to be completely factually incorrect.
I don't
He's been
believe
done
it.
by variance, and I'm more luckier than he is.
I don't believe the maths. Until I see the maths, I won't trust it. I don't get
This
it.
is the maths. It's variance is what is normally the one that gets you. That's the one where you go, never mind. Like this game week, for example, I didn't captain Kane. I captained Rashford, but my thesis was that because he was at home and Fulham were quite bad defensively, he's got a better chance of getting something.
Mm.
But luck is obviously, if you've got Kiwi or in your side, because you're a mental case and you go, yeah, he's going to score this week, and then he scores.
But you bench
Or
him.
getting Andreas off the bench like you did, like 4 times, 5 times, and he got like double figures.
Yeah.
Like Gaz did last season, where he'd get Leeds bench 3 defenders who got 15 points, like Stuart Dallas.
Yeah, that was
That's the antithesis of luck.
annoying.
Yeah, and that's probably why you didn't include the graph, because it was going to show you as the luckiest bastard. And me and Gaz got absolutely kicked in the nuts from variance and unlucky, bad situations. So
Yeah, I don't think there was much in it, but I didn't quite understand how it was worked out and stuff. So, where is it? I'll pull it over. Oh no. Oh no, here we go. It's somewhere. Clock. I've gone past it. It's good, isn't it?
You've gone past it, Jesus. It's not that one.
It's this one, isn't it? Yeah, total
Yeah,
luck.
possibly.
That's it. Oh, that was the reason. I don't think it's for the season. It's for like the last game week.
Yeah, but there's a little tab that says show all game weeks.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, but then it's by game week.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, it was hard to kind of read and understand what was going on.
Yeah.
I was like, no, it's too confusing.
Unless you're doing this stuff regularly, in terms of how to do FPL, then you're not going to get it. But it is useful to have and learn stuff like this. This is probably why you're getting a significant advantage over Gaz now, because you're using statistics and Gaz is not.
Not that much. Sometimes, yeah. I could use it more. Maybe that's something I need to look into. But
Everyone could use it more. It's just it's doing the work to either get the statistics yourself or watch someone else. And then obviously if you're watching someone else with the statistics, they might interpret it a different way from someone else. And so then you have to make a decision based on that too.
Yeah.
That's why sometimes people consuming a lot of content from a lot of different creators, if they have a different formula for how they calculate this stuff, it can make things really, really weird. They'll go, oh yeah, you should pick this week. And you go, that doesn't sound right. But
I mean, at the end of the day, use the stats to help you, but you have to go with your gut
stats,
and
eye
eye
test,
and
form, fixtures, all of it counts. You just got to be less stubborn in your approach, which unfortunately this season we were all far too stubborn, and so we got punished.
Yeah, a little bit.
So that's why we finished in the millions and not in the top 100Ks, where we if we'd picked those players that were doing really well sooner, we would have been fine, right?
Yeah.
If we
there's
if we
definitely an
triple,
element of that player's not done well for me in the past.
if we
they're not
triple
going to keep doing
captained
it.
if we triple captained Rashford when it was the best game week on paper to get a haul instead of holding it, we would have got an extra 6 points. Doesn't sound like a lot, but this season 6 points is probably the difference between where we are and like another 50 to 100,000 places.
Yeah.
That's just and then that's variance and luck as well. But on the bright side, we did pick the week where Haaland did play both, and he got 18.
Yeah.
If we picked him for the double in 37, he got bugger all. And if we picked him for the double that he had before the one we picked, I think he got fucking 10 points, wasn't it? Something stupid.
Or if you like my dad, pick him on a single game week and he gets a hat trick.
Yeah, if he gets a hattie, then he absolutely blows us out of the water. We should have done that, but for some reason we're all that's stubbornness to go. Oh well, I'll save it for a double because it's double.
Yeah,
double your luck.
Exactly.
So same with bench boosts.
Good odds.
That's exactly the same with bench boosts. You look at it and go, well, the odds are better. I can take hits. I could get 100x amount of points. I can clear 100 easy. But in reality, sometimes you might have 4 players on the bench, and there are game weeks where numerous times all of us probably said at some point the season gone, I wish I could bench boost this week because they've all got great fixtures. And he probably should have because there was more points on that bench. I think we already just established that there were some game weeks where we had 23, 25, and 30. So,
I think we all had at least one game week where we had like a 20-pointer odd on our bench.
I had Solanke on the bench and Leno one week, and that wasn't that long ago. Solanke got 15, Leno got 9. I mean, there you go. That's 24 from 2, and I still had 2 other players on that bench that were actually playing. So,
I'm not sure that was the same game week, but they were close, I think. But you definitely had a 23-pointer, I think.
Yeah, I've had a nightmare. I've had a few nightmares, a few sleeps. I've done it frequently. I did it when West Ham, the first season, they signed Souček, and he was banging in goals for fun, and I had him bench 2, and he got he was 19 points. But I benched my West Ham defender that week as well, so I had like 34 points on the bench. I have a habit of doing it, and everyone does, sort of thing, because you look at the fixture and go, no, I won't play my bench boost in a single.
Oh, no.
So there you go.
Probably would have done in the past, but
that's bias and stubbornness, you see.
Yeah.
And it's the stubbornness that we've all got to eke out a bit more.
We're still going to do the exact same thing next year, though, aren't we? So
try not to. I mean, if we want to get better, Gaz has already admitted that he needs to be less stubborn and make more transfers that are quicker instead of holding on to things. I need to do the same. I mean, if someone at game week 1 and then game week 2, like a Haaland type as an absolute stormer, don't wait another 5 weeks. I'm sitting on my laurels going, nah, I don't need him. Because clearly, not only have I missed the boat sailed so far away that I'm now drowning. So
So I guess we've got into lessons learned and what are we going to
Think
do
so.
different next year, kind of thing. So
More hits.
yeah, no, jump on bandwagons quicker. Yeah, less stubbornness.
And don't let bias enter your decision making.
Mm,
So for me, it's because I think Newcastle were going to be shit because they were for years, hovering around relegation.
yeah.
And it will be like that for Everton.
Mm,
One of us will be like that for Everton. And then Gaz has got those foibles where he'll say things like, "Oh well, history says that X hasn't won in 10 years," and then they go and win, and you go, "Ah, that team was in form. You probably should have picked that player."
yeah.
The only one that was ever guaranteed from history's sake was Mane scoring against Palace because he did it like 9 times in a row. He was without a doubt that one. So just Mane against Palace. If Mane comes back and he's against Palace, put him in.
I think that's one thing that has made me get better at this game. I'm a lot calmer than I used to be.
You don't show it.
Oh no, I used to get proper angry about stuff and then rage transfer a lot, but I tend not to do that now. I can't remember the last time I rage transferred. So
It was definitely this season, and you did it about 5-6 o'clock on a Saturday, and I can't remember who it was for, but you did it. Gaz has done that sometime this season as well, and I did it during a Sunday match, and I think it was because Tottenham were playing badly, and I
definitely don't do it as much as I used to though.
No,
It used to be like a weekly occurrence.
yeah, no, you can't do that, especially with a week's worth of training and team news and press conferences, blah blah blah. You need those transfers are quite precious in the sense.
Yeah, but I think that's down to more planning now. Plan more ahead. Look at the fixtures. I don't think about a player for I'm bringing him in for 1 week. It's more I'm bringing him in for 4 weeks, 5 weeks.
There you go. You took that from me, then, didn't you?
Yeah. See,
It's a good
and
way
it's
to look.
being calm that if it goes badly the first week, you got to trust it and go right. Couple more weeks, see how they get
If
on.
they got a good run of fixtures, then you've got to just take it because with the exception of Haaland, no one scores every week, and no one definitely gets multiple hat tricks per week, with the exception of Haaland. Even Salah has never done that, but you just have to.
No, probably not. Yeah, don't know.
Not 2 in a row.
No,
Kane's
true.
the only other one who's done that.
Yeah.
So you just have to kind of just say to yourself, if I get 2 returns out of 4, great. And if it's a cheap player, if you only get 1 return out of 4, take it.
Yeah.
If you get 2 clean sheets out of 4 and it's a 4.5 million defender, don't go, "Oh well, that was shit." It's not. You did all right. And that's the point.
Yeah. Very good.
Yeah.
Now I've got to remember all that for a couple of months when it all starts up again. So
it's fine. When it comes to picks, see what I'm picking for FPL4 and everything. It's middle of the road, and go, yeah, I won't pick any of that because it's middle of the road and boring. So then you'll get the higher scorer ones.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Same for Gaz.
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, I think that's everything, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah.
Gaz doesn't sound anything, so.
No, yeah, unless Gaz has got any lessons learned or things he's going to do better next year.
Maybe not do it at all. Don't know.
Well, that's an option. That's less stress. That is true.
Yeah,
but where's the fun in that? But yeah, well, we've got a couple of months off now anyway, so that'd be nice, and then back to it, I guess. So yeah, we shall wrap it up there then. Thanks everyone for listening. Yep. I was going to say, we'll see you next week, but we won't. See you in a couple of months when we'll be back for the next season.
You can see him next week if you want, but you have to do different topics, what you're watching perhaps, and
Yeah, just completely change the theme for the summer. Yeah.
yeah, tell them what you're learning and see if you can get better at it and share it with the world, kind of thing.
Well, there's there's internationals, there's under 21s. So
There you go, Russ's hour. You do watch lists.
Yeah.
So yeah, you should definitely pick up. I've been watching the Nations League, and these are the players that have caught my eye.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna enjoy the rest. So yeah. But yeah, we'll be back next season for another season. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. But yeah, until then, take care. We'll see you soon. Bye bye.
Ta ta.